Brandon, who has got something amazing to tell us. Take it away, Brandon.
Okay. Hi. Wait. It says off air.
No, we're on air. We're on air. We're definitely on air.
Okay. Hi. My name is Brandon. My grandfather just walked outside of this room, so the video has been momentarily interrupted. But I'm going to be discussing to you about eye movement theory and what it means in relation to Model A.
And Model G.
Yes, Model G, Model A, Socionics, eye movement, and
Right.
I will be discussing how it all interrelates into how it basically has helped me as a person.
Right. Can I show people like the groundwork first, like what conventional eye accessing cues are?
Yeah,
So
you should pull that up.
Right. So got this. This is the conventional wisdom with eye accessing cues, and people will have probably noticed in Hangouts that when I remember something, I look up and to the left. So that this bit actually works for me. People will see in Hangouts that when I'm recording something, I do look up to my left. So this one here. So people notice me doing this when I'm memorizing something. And if someone's like staring ahead, visualization, visually constructed images, so maybe a lie or imagination, constructed sounds when they look to their right, so that would be region T4 in for Dario, a hearing region, a temporal region. Remembered sounds, that would be region T3, I suppose. Let's have a look. So, recall facts, yeah, that matches up with Dario's research. So yes, maybe recalled facts, recalled sound. Kinesthetic, we'll have to look at that. See if Jeff did the same thing, but Jeff might be left-handed. Sometimes it's a switch that the person's left-handed. So feelings and bodily sensations to the person's bottom right, or this is what it would look like to us looking at them. And then auditory digital internal dialogue, which probably just means that having a think. You might see INFP is doing a lot of this.
Wait, bottom left for them or bottom right for them?
Oh, which one?
For internal dialogue.
Bottom left for them.
Bottom left. So bottom left is the void.
Ah. Right. Too much of an internal dialogue.
Too much of a bad internal dialogue. The good void is the bottom right.
But is that when they're more in touch with their body?
It's Christ consciousness.
Right. And so if they're more in touch with their body, they're more in touch with their outer surroundings. Mm-hmm. And both their body and their outer, more in a sensing state, I suppose, more in the world, more aware. I'll briefly
that's actually that's looking down. Looking down is being your body. But then looking to your right and then down, that is more of a future body thinking, in my opinion.
Right. You know, you're saying there about we'll have a look at the disintegrated INFP.
What I think an INFP does when they look to their bottom left is they think about their past body, and that is what causes them the void.
Right, for the internal dialogue. So what I'll do is I did a few weeks ago. I did this about disintegration, sort of like combining with Enneagram. And I think that an INFP disintegrates to an anti-ESFP. So the opposite of an ESFP, where if we say that an ESFP is good at taking action and using their people skills, so the ability to take action and using their people skills, I think that a disintegrated INFP goes like a disintegrated Enneagram 4, where they don't take any action and they are cut off from society and totally absorbed.
I think for the INTP, the Christ consciousness is accessed through the functions FISI.
Right, there's a bit of I've got that for what have I got? I've got iron. I've got for INTP. If an INTP is an Enneagram 5, I have them turning into like an anti-ESTP, where they're the opposite of an ESTP in terms of ESTP is a good at action and production.
So wait, FISI would be like an INFP?
FISI would be
ISFP. Isn't ISFP the anti-ESTP?
The anti-ESTP. I'll have to have a look in my system. In this, the anti-ESTP would be their break function Ni plus. They would be an INTJ, so they would disintegrate towards their supervisor.
Wait, I think the anti ESTP is their own supervisor.
The anti-ESTP. Yes, because you become. That's right. When you disintegrate to your supervisor, you become consumed by your inflation block.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an anti-version of that. So, for instance, that's right. Is because Victor says you get a swelling of information in that part of the body, and you get mental inflation, and you become consumed by this block. So, in the case of INFP, that would be SE and FE, but an anti-version of that,
Right.
where it would be like a self-indulgent version that actually is cut off from society. So really bad FE and can't act anything, doesn't act in the now. Yes, the opposite of acting in the now is then retreating into this baroque fantasy life that's totally outside of the moment. So they just become in their fantasies a disintegrated Enneagram 4. The opposite of SE being in the moment, being in this fantasy world, and then FE in terms of caring about people and and being involved in society. The opposite of that, where the Enneagram 4 is cut up, they shut themselves off from society. They shut themselves off from social norms and become totally absorbed in their own fantasies. And then they eventually become suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
If they are a level
That is essentially what happens with INFPs, correct? They pretty much absorb themselves in total depression, absolute mania of oh my god, and then they pretty much kill themselves. That's kind of how it goes sometimes with INFPs. But I mean, they can also just find happiness themselves too. You know, like they're not completely just damned forever.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
And you know, before we were looking at some Enneagram hormone stuff, like ESFP being the life and soul of the party, actually having high serotonin, so they're relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So they're relaxed, they're cool. You know, if they can live their ideal lifestyle and they're like the life and soul of the party, and they're actually good in high pressure situations, so high dopamine situations, they're good. And so they're cool all the while.
Yeah.
The ideal ESFP is cool in most situations, as long as they're not bored to death. They're calm.
Yes.
They're calm. They're calm.
You know what's funny?
All
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Ben? My my Christ consciousness functions, I guess, for me, are SETE, which I guess is how an ESTP is. And but for some reason, when I speak in those thoughts, when I look to my bottom right and I access those functions, SE and TE, what happens is I basically talk slower and I produce valuable wisdom. It just happens on its own. And that's the mysterious part about this.
Well, the ENFP, that block is your social adaptation block.
Interesting.
and you are.
Why? What do we do with it?
Well, that's an interesting block. I think it's when the social mission block is not good enough to do the particular task. It sort of goes to that second block. So, for instance,
Interesting. So I look to my SETE, aka I look to my Christ consciousness to help me figure things out that I can't figure out on my own.
yeah, in terms of in your normal functions. So, why do you call it the Christ consciousness?
Because future body, looking to the down right is future body, and in my opinion, we have experienced past lives. And the future body is, in my opinion, the universally reconciled self that Christ has planned. Yes, I know it sounds crazy because I'm not a Christian, but when I say Christ, I mean Buddha, I mean Muhammad, I mean all of those dudes. I mean all of them. Anyone who has achieved Christ consciousness was Christ. They didn't like there was one guy who nobody even knows about who was crucified and did everything Jesus did 2,000 years before Jesus did it. But guess what? We worship Jesus because he is the one that people know about. He's the one that is written about in the Bible so that people can figure out Christ consciousness and talk to it and help and use it to help them. But it's basically the war between religion is basically caused by who is the real Christ? Who is the real Christ? The real Christ is within you and your body, like you in your future body.
What happens if one of those people that you say was Christ was the Antichrist?
I think the idea of the Antichrist is something that's like a little bit more future oriented. I don't think it's happened yet.
Well, here's the thing. If I said who I think was the Antichrist, I would be killed.
How come?
Well, because I would. So that I can't say. But the actual fact that I would be killed, people should be able to work it out.
Interesting.
And people centuries ago used to actually say this particular person that I will not name was the Antichrist.
Wow.
I don't want to say anymore. I don't want to die, so I'm not going to say anymore.
It's interesting. Well, whoever that guy is, he's probably a total, like, I don't know, somebody who, okay, you know what, in my opinion, the true Antichrist will be like?
Yep.
The true Antichrist is somebody who can make any person fall in love with them without loving them back.
Right, so it's not Donald Trump then, because people hate him.
Exactly. That is completely true. Yes, the true Antichrist will be loved by everyone. That's why he's the Antichrist, because what he's going to do when he's loved by everybody is fucking just want to shatter everyone's heart. That's what Hitler, in a way, was kind of the most antichristly thing that has existed, because he made everybody love him in Germany and whatever. Like, all the Nazis just did not see he was a fucking void, a devil. So, like, basically...
But the Antichrist might be smart enough to know that people are looking for the person that everyone loves and might have some people that don't like him. It could be sneaky.
Honestly, I think like Hitler, Stalin, all these major dictators who have come and taken over the world and whatever, I think they're the closest thing to an Antichrist that we've gotten. Anyone who's killed like the highest population of people on Earth, you know, like Hitler is responsible for 13 million deaths of human lives. That's kind of a definition of Antichrist. You destroyed a fucking entire part of Earth. I don't think a true Antichrist will exist unless you find a guy who can make the world explode and decides to do it with his own mind.
So a little bit in the Enneagram thing about Enneagram 7s. They've got the high serotonin, so they're calm, but they've also got high dopamine, so they're actually like the sensation seeker.
Mm-hmm.
Because they might be a little bit too calm and blasé for their own good.
Mm-hmm.
Where, anyhow, we won't spend too long on that. But so we sort of like proved the. So this is the conventional eye accessing cues. Is this? So what you can do now, Brandon, is we'll just show a little bit of model. Actually, if you tell us about your eye accessing cues. Now, when we're looking at that past visions, is that when we're looking at somebody's face, or is that their own?
When I say past visions, I mean when you look to the top left, you are remembering things.
Right.
And
So
then
this is
when you look to the top right, you are creating your future in a way.
right. So this is the opposite from this one in that in terms of the way we're looking at it. So, folks, this is looking at somebody else's face, where it's the left is on the right and the right is on the left. Whereas in Brandon's model, this is the way it is for you folks. So when you look up to the top left, it's past visions, and when you look up to the top right, it's future visions.
Yeah. I wanted
Right.
to make my model like make sense to people. So when
Yeah.
you look at it and read it, it's just like, okay, that, okay. You don't have to guess.
Yeah, it's clear because the other one is based on looking at other people and seeing what their eye accessing cues are, rather than with this system as you're thinking about your own.
Yeah,
Your own.
exactly. I don't give an F less
A rat's ass.
about other people, about a rat's ass, about anyone's eye movements but my own. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm creating this stuff so that other people can figure out their own eyes, not so that you can read other people's. You know?
Oh yeah. So if you tell us about how this has been very useful to you in your
Well, you see,
life.
my problem was that I was an ENF. I'm an ENFP, and I knew my functions were NEFI, TESI, whatever, all that. I learned Model A. I learned everything. I learned Model G, and then that kind of made something click in my head. That what if this is correlated to eye movements? And I started to meditate on the top left, and amazing things started to happen to me in my life. And my life has changed ever since then.
All right.
I've connected to my FI. I needed my FI.
Right. Let's go back to the model. See what we've got here. So that pretty much past visions. You are remembering things, so that matches up with the conventional eye accessing cues. The future
Correct.
visions matches up with imagination, because you know when it says
Correct.
visually constructed images.
In a way, your top right is your unconscious.
Yeah.
Think of it that way.
Unconscious, sometimes imagination, sometimes someone bullshitting.
I believe that everything that somebody says that comes from their imagination or bullshit is an actual direct reflection of what they are and how they are. So it's like because I was reading Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious by Carl Jung, and basically he was describing how disconnecting from our imagination has disconnected us from a rather dangerous degree our spiritual side. He wrote these words: dangerous degree spiritual side. Carl Jung. So what I've started doing is just reconnecting to my imagination, and by doing so, I discovered this eye model accessing cue to help me continue doing it in such a way that I can just keep moving forward in my life. I now know what to do. Like
when you've got ideas there, is that somebody looking straight ahead, or somebody
that is
up?
somebody looking straight up. Just ideas, pure momentary ideas.
Right. Because in the traditional model of eye accessing cues, it has somebody, well, not so much ideas as somebody visualizing. They look straight ahead. I don't know if you have that in your system.
Looking straight ahead to me is the moment, just the moment. You get me? So you're only connecting like when you're looking straight ahead, it's what's right in front of you. Like that's where your eyes are centered. Your pure stillness of eye movement.
What about when you're looking straight ahead and it's like you totally like the opposite of that and you're visualizing?
Well, in that case, that's called schizophrenia. And I'm not visualizing right now. I'm just seeing a tree, a light. Let's see. That's a lamp. Giant street light lamp.
Right, let's see. So, Right. So if we go with this for you, what kind of past visions did you have when you concentrated on looking on your upper left?
I had, well, actually, I realized who I was in a past life. And that is what has
Ooh.
changed. That is what has changed everything about my entire worldview, is the fact that I'm a reincarnation of somebody. So that is what has kind of changed and shifted everything for me.
If you give us some details, please, of that past life, that would be cool for people.
Well, I killed myself. So I don't want to say who I was because it's a known name. So I'd rather not.
Okay.
And I killed myself, so, and I was basically miserable. So I'm back here, and I realized that, and I did not want to fall into that void again. So what I had to do basically was figure out who I was, figure out why I was stuck in that void, and realize, wait, I can change my own fate. You know, I don't have to kill myself again. And then after that, it's like, okay, I will never have to kill myself again. You know, like it's like I've broken the chain because multiple past lives were suicide, 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 suicide. Like I've become aware of this just by looking to the top left, that I have killed myself many, many, many times, and I'm just like, wow, like damn, that sucks. Let me not do that this time, and figure out what it is I got to do to make me happy. And I figured out, I'm figuring that out as well.
What I'm doing at the moment is listening to you, and I'm also spreading around the link for the live watch page so that many people as possible can watch this.
Okay.
So any more details on this past life? Just to help people imagine.
Just
Visualize.
I was just basically, I was in misery. My feet were practically always on fire, like not literally but figuratively, and like something was really wrong with me, and I didn't know why, and I knew I was in pain, and I just couldn't get out of it, and I was like, fuck. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to curse.
That's okay.
I was totally in. I was just totally entering that mode, that mode. So I was like, okay, I was just totally like, something is wrong with me, and I don't know what it is, and I hate it, and I hate this feeling, and I'm gonna kill myself, and that's where pretty much it ends. Like that's it. Like it. I'll give you, like, okay, I made it past age 40.
Wow. Yep, you made it past age 40.
Yes, in that life, I made it past age 40. Miserably.
Right.
40 years of misery.
So what kind of... So you also tested out these other things. What kind of ideas did you have when you looked up?
Up?
Yeah.
Completely up? Well, completely up, I talked to God.
Ooh. What happened there? Or was it private?
Oh, that's, any conversation I have with God is between me and God, I guess. So
Okay.
talking about it to people is very sensitive.
Right.
Very
Okay.
sensitive, because I cannot say, oh, I am talking to God right now. That is not a good thing for people. So I can't.
Are you also... What is your personal spirituality for you?
I'm somewhere between Buddhist, Christian, Islam, Judaist, Hindu, like pretty much every single religion, just try to combine them all. That's kind of what I am.
Right.
Combine all of them. Universalism, I think it's called. That's what I think Aldous Huxley was really, really like into before he died. Universalism. It's basically like the doctrine of all religions being in some way true.
Right. 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 What I can show people about there is you were talking there about combining all these different things, and that is something that that ENFPs, INTPs, ISFPs, and ESTPs all do this thing called holographic panoramic thinking, where they look at things from different angles. And I have a graphic for that, which is this example of looking at the cylinder from different angles and combining it. So you were saying there about using all these different religions, combining all their points of view.
Portals.
Yeah, to get at a greater truth. Right.
I was
So
just thinking
going
about
back
that game
to.
the other day. I
All
was like,
right.
oh,
Okay.
this is kind of what I'm doing in a way. I was thinking about that, honestly.
Now, future visions. What future visions have you had?
Well, future visions for me have mostly just been extremely, extremely positive. Like, extremely positive. Like, as in only, like traveling the world, healing people, helping people, comedian, talking to people, teacher in some way. I'll have my psychology degree. I'm going to finish school, get my psychology degree, and then I'm just going to use that as my reason. Hey, I have a psychology degree. I can do, whatever I want. It does not matter whether I am a good psychologist or not. I have the fucking, sorry. I have the paperwork. I have the paperwork to say, hey, I am certified. So from there, I will go forward, and then I will just go, oh, I can make money doing Reiki healing, which is a form of spiritual healing. I did not want to bring that up, and I felt like that was like kind of like I don't know. It was kind of holding me back from saying much. That's why I cursed. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Um, I really want to get into Reiki healing, and it's basically a spiritual form of healing that uses only your hands
I
over a
think
person's body.
I know someone who might be getting into that as well, and
Okay,
I'll ask him if I can tell you.
okay, thank you, because I'm getting my attunement on Christmas.
But I think this person said that they would only do it if they felt it really worked. So
Uh, it works. I had it done on me.
right.
That's what started my whole healing process. It was like this person, and he did it over the phone, and I started crying and everything. Like it was just intense. Like I have done more emotional. I've gotten through more emotional walls and breakthroughs in my life in the last 20 days than I have in 21 years.
Right. Do you want to talk about the website that you're putting together
Yes.
with? Yeah, go on.
Me and my sister are planning a website, and we've been talking about it every single day for hours. And basically, the idea of it, we don't want to give too much away because we don't want people to steal our idea. But basically, we're just going to try and promote good into the world. We're going to make a website, and that's going to be our slogan: is good. That's it. And the intention of it is just good. When you do good, you get good. That's how it works.
Pay
Karma.
it forward, I suppose.
Karma. Yes,
Right.
pay it forward. And we believe in the law of karma. Therefore, we're going to try and make it so that we're going to try and use karma as the way of making this website kind of work. But I don't want to talk too much into this yet,
Right.
because it's between me and my sister.
Right.
We don't want people stealing it, but it's basically, yeah. And so I just already see myself going forward in life, and I've only been clean from like hardcore drug use for about 40 days. So
Right. Looking at this diagram, uh, what do the okay, we'll finish off the ones on the bottom before talking about the types in the middle. What about past body? What does that mean?
uh, your past body, well, you see, my thing is people who look at their past body are basically usually depressed or they're trapped in a void of some kind. They are remembering bad memories. They are in a state of anxiety, depression, startling turmoil that they're not aware of, anxiety, panic. All these things happen when you're just stuck there. You get stuck in the past body because that's what holds you back. And that's why I put the SI and the TI, because well, TI being the polar function, which in that case, In that case, it might be possible that I might rearrange the model and say that. Oh wait, yes, TI is harder to access. Okay, but let me concentrate more on what I mean by the past body.
Okay.
Past body is also past lives, and for me, what I've been doing is I've been communicating with who I was in a past life.
So when you say you've got past visions, so what's really the
Yes,
difference between past visions and past body?
past visions. I don't talk to them. I just see what happened. Everything I see it like it's playing in my mind. And then past body, I'm actually talking to them, talking to my soul, basically.
Do you want to say the certain things that you said?
Well, you see, I've talked to multiple ones, but things we talk about basically are like thank you for figuring this out. Like thank you so much. We're finally gonna move forward. Like we've been trapped in this loop for so long. We're finally gonna move forward. Like thank you, thank you, thank you. You figured it out. You figured it out. You figured it out. Like thank you. Like they're basically just thanking me all the time.
Um. So what about in your system, the body?
That's you. When you look down, it's you. You're concentrated on your body. You're connecting to your body. It is known that when you look down as far as you can, your nose crosses. Your nose starts to cross, and it's like you start to see the tip of your nose. What this means in Hindu is you are meditating on the Muladhara chakra, which is the root chakra, which is grounding you, which is connecting you to your body. So when you look down and you start to see your nose because of how far down you're looking so far down that you can just see your nose like start to cross. That's when you're looking at your body and connecting and grounding yourself to it. So it's a very important and good form of meditation that I've learned from Hinduism.
Right. What about future body?
Huh?
Future body.
That's Christ consciousness.
So what's that like?
When I talk to him, um, it's like it's just because he knows exactly what to say to calm me down, exactly what to say to calm other people down, exactly what to say when like he just always reminds me, breathe through your stomach, breathe through your stomach. Just I've been learning how to diaphragm breathe because I've been stuck breathing like this, like because it's stress.
Yep.
Just breathe while moving your hands over your stomach. Make sure your hand moves when you breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. This is a relaxation technique that also connects you to your body. And it calms thoughts, it calms racing thoughts, and it puts you in the moment so that you can think more clearly. And that's basically the kind of messages I get from him.
So now, what do the types relate to in the middle?
SETE. Well, the reason I put the whole Gulenko model in the first place was because I felt that connecting to my top left was connecting to my FI, and that disconnection from my introverted self is what caused my depression, and that is why I incorporated Gulenko at all into this because I felt like it's the only thing that truly matched how this all made sense. Now for SETE, I feel like it's when I think of an SETE person, I think of a very straightforward and to the point person. Now, when I talk to Jesus, it's like he's basically, or Christ consciousness, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever you want to call him. Uh, I just receive straightforward advice. Breathe with your stomach. Um, Relax. Everything's gonna be okay. There's nothing to worry about. You're protected. You are in my hands, just as you were as a child when you were born. Like things like that just soothe me. It soothes me, and I just feel like okay, I'm in good hands, and I am moving forward, and I'm progressing, and my future looks bright. That's basically how I feel when I look down there and I talk to him. and he helps my sister out too. My sister, by the way, she asks me to talk to him. She asks me to talk to my other angel, and she asked me to talk to my other angel. She asks me to talk to all three of my self, and she's asked me to talk to my past selves. So my sister is involved in all of this with me, and either we are both schizophrenic and insane, or we are both entering a playground of imagination that is changing our lives and making things better for people in general if we can incorporate this into people's lives,
So,
basically.
for you as an ENFP, why is it NIFI in the top left in this center?
Because I had to bring in FI into the equation because in Glencoe's model, NEFE is the social role. And I remember when I was in a party, I was shy, nervous while I was talking to this girl, and she kept asking me, why am I looking to the top right? And I realized that NEFE is kind of your social mask. I think that's what Gulenko explained in his model from our video, because I've seen our video multiple times, and I basically gathered that we well, I look to my top right when I am putting on my social mask. So maybe that is me using NEFE.
Right. I'm just going to show people. I'm going to try and bring up your model G. Right. I'll just bring it across. Across. I'll also rename it so it makes a bit more sense.
Honestly, when I look to the bottom right, I like to pretend that I'm talking to ESTP Jesus.
Right.
It's like
It's not Jay McKee, is it?
huh?
It's not EJ R&D, is it?
Uh, EJR&D, are you there? No, I don't think so.
Right. So looking at it's got the model G of looking for any. Where is it? Oh no! I think I might have put the wrong one across. Yeah, that's Model A. We don't want the Model A ones. That's crazy. We just get rid of these Model A's because they're a little bit crazy. I put the wrong ones in. Apply to all, overwrite. Right, Model G, because I need to show people the Model G of the ENFP to sort of like relate it for people as NEFE. Doing that across there, and then you sort of like explain the how it relates the Model G with the way you've placed them.
Okay.
So right, so you have the social mission block on the top right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the Model G for ENFP, where their social mission is using their FE to bring people to the cause, which
Right.
might be
That
what you're
is
doing now. You're bringing people to the cause.
Well, sometimes I've been looking to the top right. Mind you, Ben, the entire time that I've been having this conversation with you, I have been
Yep.
aware of what functions I am accessing just by the movement of my eyes. And therefore, I've been responding to you based on this outside perspective of my eye movements more as a soul, you know? So I've just been a soul communicating with different aspects of consciousness. And um, when I am concentrating on a particular corner of my eye, I give you the response from that particular aspect of my consciousness.
So can
The
this help
information,
people who you think have a bit of a schizophrenic
depression,
personality, or if
yes,
they're a bit?
yes. Because here's the thing about schizophrenia: a person with schizophrenia probably is not even aware of what their eyes are doing, or where they're moving, or what they're doing, how they might be able to realize that look straight ahead and see the visions and don't escape and don't run away from them. They cannot hurt you. Any schizophrenic person who feels that their visions can hurt them are the reasons why that they are schizophrenic. They are afraid of what's in front of them and they have to be locked up because it makes them paranoid. That's the reason it's called paranoid schizophrenia, because a person is schizophrenic and is also very paranoid. Me, have I shown schizophrenic symptoms? Absolutely. People are telling me I am schizophrenic. People are telling me that all the time. My best friends are leaving me. One girl is telling me that constantly. And you know what I'm seeing around her? I'm seeing her father's demon surrounding her forehead. So when I see that girl and she's telling me that I'm schizophrenic, I'm seeing something else. I'm seeing something around her that's wrong with her. And guess what? This is the girl who's suicidal. This is a girl I know who I want to help, and I can't. I can't help her because she will not listen to me. So I'm either schizophrenic or people okay, I need to calm down. And then I need to just explain to people little by little as I go along that sometimes when people see things, they're not schizophrenia. It's That's the bottom line. There's a reality that you don't know about. And it's hard for me to put it out there without getting emotional because of the amounts of atheism I've had thrust into my life and thrusting me into a void. And it has not served me, and I will not serve that anymore.
Right. Your extinguishment relationship is, as you know, with the INFJ, the NIFI, and I was just wondering. So for each type, is it always their like extinguishment relation in the top left?
Let me see. Top left, NIFI. So for me, it's ENFP and then INFJ. So let me think. For you, it's TINI and then TENE. So that's your ENTJINTP. Yes, it is extinguishment for everybody.
Why do you think it is that?
Why? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Let me think about extinguishment for a minute. Well, I have a very, very, very good relationship with an INFJ. Like we are very, very, very close, and it makes sense that all these visions that I share with him, he's the first one to believe me and understands me and understand where I'm coming from, because I feel like he knows that I'm using these functions in a way, and because I'm using these functions, he's able to grasp the reality behind what I'm saying. He's not instantly calling me insane. He's saying, "Hey, I like this. I like what I'm hearing. Continue." So that's why I think that INFJ and I think extinguishment, I feel like it's portrayed in a very negative way in the intertype relations using socionics, because people, I don't know, maybe they're not aware of the top left. I don't know, but basically, in my opinion, it's a very good relationship between two types,
Yeah.
two awakened types.
Chris Montoya talked about in a video that he has a good working relationship with an ENTJ. No, sorry, with an ENTJ.
Correct. Okay.
Even though the ENTJ would be their supervisor, he has a
Okay.
good
Wait. So
relationship.
wait, they were in. He was in a relationship with an INFJ.
Chris Montoya is an INFJ.
Oh, okay.
I briefly got mixed up with extinguishment, but he gives an example of he actually has a good business relationship with his supervisor.
Okay. So
The ENTJ.
that's. I mean, I personally like INTPs, and they're my supervisor. because
Right.
I can talk with them intellectually and they understand me. And I've always had a good relationship with INTPs. Like they've always been like my best friends. Like I connect to them because of the NE, so I'm able to
Right.
talk to them. And I think supervision, what it is you are like, I feel like supervisors see why the supervisee is stuck in a rut, and they don't listen to the supervisor about how to get out of that rut because the person is unaware of their polar function. Now, I have become aware that TI, my past body, SITI in my past body, my past lives, I become aware of all of that by looking to my bottom right. So I am out of my ruts, and now all the INTPs in my life can become friends with me again.
Right. Okay. So I think you've talked about what it's like when you look to your top left. So you think you're accessing those functions of NI and FI?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And you think those are connected with past visions? But for you, because it's different.
Absolutely. For the ENFP, absolutely. For every ENFP out there, you listening? NIFI is
Right.
up there.
Right. So for ENFPs, their past visions are going to be related to the functions of NI and FI.
Yes.
Right. And for INTP, it will be T E N E E N T J.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's square 8 to square 5 in the Model G. Because I did a graph, you might like this. I did a graphic of the Model G intertype relations. There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's for real. It's really funny. You know why?
Right.
I've actually been seeing this whole thing as kind of like I'm playing a video game.
Right.
And I remember on the PlayStation controller, there was LT and RS. LT for left and RS for right. And I felt like I was using a video game controller while I was doing all this. So it just kind of, I don't know, that kind of just made sense to me. Let me just think a little more. L.
Oh yeah, just so folks know, L is TI for logic. T is intuition of time for NI. R is FI for ethics of relations. S is for SI. I is for intuition, so NE. E is for ethics of emotion, so FE. F is for force, so extroverted sensor. And P is for TE, practical thinking.
F. Extroverted sensing. So SE and then P is TE.
Yeah.
So,
So SETE is FP is SETE.
okay, so then that's in the bottom right. So I was right. Okay. And then top right, what is R again?
FI.
FI. And then S.
SI.
SI. Okay, that's interesting.
Right.
FISI was, that is, this is not for the, oh
This
wait,
is
this
all
is,
for the INTP.
can I look at ENFP?
Right. I've not done the. I can show you the graphic for ENFP, but I've not done the intertype relations for ENFP. I have done them for. But you see, you can, if you remember these, you can transpose them over. So okay, this is ENFP.
Okay, let me see. Okay, NEFE TINI. Interesting.
So 7 to
Whoa.
8 will give your supervisor.
This is amazing. Hold on. Whoa, okay, so N E and then where's F? Okay, so that could be top right, and then SETE. So that makes sense. This is like a jigsaw puzzle for me. Hold on a second. That makes sense. And then the TI and the NI and then FI and the SI contradict what the top left was saying. However, when you move this over,
I just want to say something to our 2 viewers. If you could spread this link around in the groups so that more people are watching, that would be grateful.
okay, so it's like, and then TI, NI, FI, SI. Can you explain what the role is for TI, NI?
The role
Like,
for my type.
no, no,
My
no,
type.
the TI, NI. Basically, what I mean is, what it is for, what it is in actual the model. What is TI and NI doing?
For your type.
Yes.
This is the inflation block. So this is like if you get caught too much up in TI and NI, you will be thinking about NI things too much, and you'll be overtaken by, I suppose, trying to analyze NI things and going around and around and around in a spiral. That's what I assume it means, based on the inability to metabolize,
See,
to
now this is what
digest
this is
this
what I
information.
think. This is what I think. I think TI and NI should not be blocked together because TI is an unvalued function for the ENFP, and then NI is a valued function. I think control should be SI, and it
Well,
should be what?
well, I mean, the valued functions are in orange for
Hold on, wait.
ENFP.
Oh, wait, no, you're right. NI is unvalued but strong, correct?
Yeah,
And then
it's
TI,
strong in terms of information, but weak in terms of energy. Because with the NE, you just want to go to lots of different places and find the connections, whereas NI is more restrictive. So because you're using NE, it's sort of like you can't use NE and NI at the same time in terms of like actions. Maybe you've got the information there for NI, like where you've talked about visions and things, so you use a lot of NI
mm-hmm.
in terms of your information and your thoughts, but in terms of acting on NI and like being like an INTJ and like ranking things and planning things into the future and having this
Yeah,
single
exactly.
vision, they have
I
trouble
don't.
with that.
Here's the thing for me with when I use I don't use it for my future. I use it for my past.
Uh,
I don't use it to plan future things. I just look at the past with it in a
right.
way. But I think that because it is a strong and valued function, that is why it belongs in the upper eye movement for me personally. Because when you're looking down, you know how when someone's depressed, why are you looking so down? Why are you looking so down? The person usually, their eyes are usually more low. It's common knowledge that someone when they're depressed, they don't look like, yay. They look.
So let's check that. You think the inflation block is when they're looking down? Let's have a look at your model.
The
So would
inflation
that
block.
be, yeah,
I am
so for
not.
you, that's going to be TINI.
No, for me that's going to be SITI because NI is a strong and valued function, therefore it is up. And that's why I think that what is strong and valued and when you're using it, you are not depressed. What is strong? What is strong, period. That was me. I was using my functions that were valued and strong, but I was not using my unvalued functions. Well, guess what? I started valuing them. I started to value their use in my life and how I can apply them and how I can become an amazing human being.
Well, NI for ENFP, NI is very, as a contemplative function, I suppose it is very strong, but as an actual implementation of it in terms of actions in your life, where, so for instance, Kersey had the INTJ as a person who could see all the things going wrong in the future and plan for those things and be very good at planning. So, for instance, he gave the ultimate example of planning for the liberation of Europe on D-Day is seeing all the things that could go wrong and having like contingency plans for those things going wrong and really planning ahead into the future and seeing the possibilities that are contingent upon contingency planning into the future and thinking about the steps. So thinking in a serial way in terms of if this then that, all this if then type of planning. And I suppose that and then they would be able to execute that, the INTJ. And I suppose that because the ENFP is seeing opportunities in the present and being adaptable and saying, hey, I can take this opportunity, they are not going to stick to that plan that, say, an INTJ would have. So in terms of like acting on that function, NI will be very weak for the ENFP. It sort of depends how we define the function, but the way you define it in terms of the ability to go into a trance state and have
Yes,
these villains.
absolutely, absolutely.
Both are related to time. So Carl Jung related NI to time by, and you probably know this, that it was the ability of the introverted intuitive type to connect to the archetypes, with the archetypes representing universal laws, and with that access to the universal laws, they have the ability to have their ear next to the wall of history, so they know how things are going. Now, I can, because it's extremely hard for me to see NI, because I see it as a sort of unconscious TI, and that's also how Carl Jung saw it. It might be INTP. He saw it as a chain of events, and he actually said this: a chain of events where, and then you get the output of it, but you don't actually see those causal links because those causal links are in the unconscious. So it's almost like an unconscious TI. Is the way I see it. So what else about NI? So again, it's intuition of time. Oh yeah, I think another way of predicting the future, though, I think would be with TI. So with economic principles, you can say the US dollar is in trouble because they're not going to raise interest rates because they don't want to collapse the stock market, because the intention of the Federal Reserve all along has been to raise asset prices. They have said our aim is to create a wealth effect by making sure the stock market goes up and making sure house prices go up. And in order to do that, interest rates must be really low. Now, what that means is they're going to really keep at that, and then the dollar will collapse. They will have the dollar collapse instead of the stock market. Again, but that's using TI to predict the future. To me, it's extremely hard, and I totally ignore NI. The only way I use NI would be would be working so much with the TI in terms of thinking ahead. And what it does for me is it actually makes me too hesitant, because it suppresses my SE in that I think, oh no, if I did this bad thing could happen, and this and this and this and this, and it makes me hesitant to act. Whereas the person that's just acting in the moment is not thinking about the consequences.
Hold on, wait. TI, NI for you. Basically your bottom right, your void is FESE.
I like FESE. I like ESFJ.
Oh yeah, you can like them, but when you become those functions, when you use SE, you are in a void, basically.
the way I would see it is if I like become like an EST, a crappy ESTP, is when I'm in a void. Where in terms of like the opposite of that, where I'm not acting and I'm not productive, is when I would feel disintegrated.
Well, Ben, I'm afraid of telling you things, but I will. Let's not venture into that subject, and I think you should put on another slide.
Oh, if you've got some dirty stuff on me, if you want to say it, then that's fine.
I'm somewhat afraid of your FESE person. That's all I'm saying. Goodbye.
Okay.
I'm still here though.
Okay. That's good. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Another slide. Which slide? Right. What we can do now is go to your diagrams that you did for me. So this one of the what's this about? Oh, some stuff came up. I'll just get rid of the image gallery so we can see it a bit better. What's that about?
That is the INT. Wait, was that the INTP or is that the ISTJ? Looks more like the ISTJ's eye movement accessing graph that I created. You can put on the INTP one if you want me to analyze yours.
Okay. Is that one?
Yes.
Right, because it's got the extinguishment relation in the top left.
Okay.
That's the way I'll recognize your diagrams, by looking for the extinguishment relation.
Yep.
In the top left.
Yes. Okay, so I think it speaks for itself, my spiritual beliefs in itself, that diagram. I think I've explained all of that already by this point, that I believe that there is a God and I believe that there is a devil. Because I told you that I was every single religion. I told you I was Christianity, Islam, Buddhist, all of them. I basically just combine all of them, and they pretty much all agree on the subject that there is a God and there's a devil. So that's kind of where I go for my other plans in my life.
Right. So, what is the serious angel?
The serious angel is an angel that you can connect to if you want to reach it and if you have good intentions.
Right. What are past visions through the lens of TENE?
Past visions? Past visions, well, like I said, looking to the top left, you use past visions. You are thinking of past visions. And when you use TENE, you are using those functions in such a way that it is analyzing past visions. Your mode of consciousness is a past vision frame of mind, perceiving past visionary frame of mind things. Therefore, you are using these functions just for that specific purpose, that intention of past analyzation, something you were doing unconsciously, but that you are doing. Not what I'm trying to do is make conscious to you.
Can you give me an example where it will be clear how I'm using TENE in that context of past visions?
Right now, the only way to do it would be to prove it. Look to your top left while you talk to me.
Right. Okay. So,
anything that you say right now as you look to the top left is activating TE and NE. You are thinking using TE and NE right now because you are in that position with your eyes.
Right. So,
that position with your eyes, can you perceive it and detect it?
Right. So, it's actually quite difficult for me to talk like this.
I know. Exactly. I knew it, Ben. I knew it. It's very difficult for people to do this, and that is why it has changed my life. I have noticed that it is difficult for many people to do this. Many people. And that is why it is so therapeutic to do it, because the easier it becomes for you to look to your top left, the more information you'll start accessing and receiving. The more information you'll stop blocking. The more information you'll be able to truly ascend your thinking, basically, is what I'm saying.
Usually people will see in videos that when I'm recalling something, I look to my top left.
Yes, what you are doing is, because NE is a valued function, you are processing information with NE. But because you're a TI dominance, in order for you to access NE, I believe it works as a water filter. You must first pass through the thinking function in order to access the intuitive function for the INTP. So you have to pass first through TE NE, which is why you can't just go into NE mode unless you have received something activated from your TI.
Right. That makes sense. So what kind of what kind of TE information would I be looking at?
Well, I suppose that when you are looking to your top left, Ben, that it would, first off, because it's getting your TE moving, it allows you to think more chronologically about things. You're able to put things together at a much quicker rate. You're able to see more practical solutions to problems. You're able to put logic together in such a way that it's, you're pretty much helping your life because you're figuring your life out. You're extroverted thinking. You're pretty much TEing. And then with NE, where that comes in is how you apply that TE. You're applying your TE in such a way that your NE is working. So basically, what I'm saying for you, Ben, is that when you look to the top left, you'll be using TE. And the more TE you're using, the more NE you'll be using.
Right. Do I also look to the top left when I'm using any?
Yes.
Right. So people have to watch that in my videos. So when I'm like,
Yes, and I have been watching videos of eye movements of other people a lot. And yes, I have noticed it in you.
right. What sort of things was I saying when I was doing any stuff?
It was mostly like when you come up with a humorous joke or something spontaneous in the moment, and you like make somebody like you laugh a lot about it, and let's say like I'm unresponsive or something afterwards, and I feel like maybe, oh, was he offended that I didn't laugh, or was he offended by that I don't know, maybe he didn't realize that I'm just not in a comical state at the moment.
Yeah. I don't mind because I think it's funny. I think maybe some of the audience will like it. It's like if I think it's funny, that's the main thing. You've not got to be result dependent.
That's true. That's very true.
You know, if people go through life like that, it's got to be because then they're enjoying themselves. If they're making themselves laugh, and they
Yeah.
know it's their sense of humor, and they're true to themselves,
Yeah.
rather than trying to make everything a joke.
You are an authentic person if you're making yourself laugh, not someone else.
Yeah. Because if you put too much pressure on yourself to make the other person laugh, it's like, and then you can see the disappointment on your face from the feedback, where you've made yourself result dependent, and then
Are you looking to your top left?
I don't know. But part of the problem will be is that I'm actually watching the screen, and the screen is well. If I go on, well, you can analyze me now while I'm talking to. Although it's going to be a little bit. What I'll do is I'll put my light on so it's easier for you to see my eyes. Now, Jeff Miller, the SP.
I'll be right. Ben, I will be right back because I promised a favor to my sister. So 1 second.
Okay. Okay. Well, what Jeff did in a video, folks, is he was sort of against the wall like this. Jeff Miller. And and the pod layer people typed him and they said, oh, Jeff Miller's like an INFJ or like something not an ESFP. And he was like, he always looks off in that direction. And Jeff was saying, because I'm sat against the wall, nothing happens over here. Everything happens over there, so my eyes will move over there. That's what Jeff was saying because the Podlair people, oh right, you like to look at different systems. What do you think of what Podlair says about eye accessing cues?
What does who say?
Podlair.
Podlair? I'm not exactly sure. I haven't actually researched anything about him.
It's a system. Podlair. It's a total rip-off of Carl Jung, but it's I came up with a correlator that you might like, the pod layer correlator. And then I called it convertogram, the convertogram, for converting between the different systems. Model G interview systems, slides common to all interviews. Now I'm looking for the convertogram. Right, while that's over there, I'll put this joke slide over here so that people can look at this joke slide. Right, there it is. I'll put the joke slide on. And then I'll just share the screen on the joke slide. I think any NTP probably came up with this joke.
Good advice. I need to sit on my butt right now. My grandfather's coming over here, and he's going to be very stressed out about something because we had about 4 cop cars show up to our house today, and we were like, "What the hell?" And now he's very stressed out about me right now. So he's like, "We had no idea why the cops showed up. No idea."
Right. So what?
Okay. Vamos a hablar con Nicole y todo lo con alguien. So. Okay, now.
Right. But folks can have a look at my. These are my results while I get the convertogram across. Yeah, Brandon's speaking Spanish now, so I'm not really convinced that Beckelham is his surname. Right. Right. So looking for the convertogram. There it is. I've got all these slides. The pod layer. I remember to put the cooler on today, folks. Right. So Brandon's mic's off at the moment. Right.
Yes, I'm having a confrontation with somebody, and it's a little.
Okay. So this is about like this. That's the pod layer thing that the pod layer people came up with, and I thought that's cool. I'll do my own version of what it all means. And so in the convertogram, you'll know what all the funny letters mean. It took me flipping ages to do it because I did it all in, and I didn't have a proper compass either.
Wait, and can you send it to me on Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
No, not that one. The one before, the one you were just talking about. The one that.
This one, official pod layer.
Please send that to me.
Okay. I'll send the other one as well, so so it's like Xi. No, the X is Xi, and Xi, and Vi and Ni.
This
is G and Z and V and Ni. All those are just extroverted functions. All the Z, Z, G, V, Ni is just like possibility. That's Ne. Reality, that's SE. People, that's FE. Z, that's TE, I think. Ni is NI. Vi is, I think it's SI. Xi is FI. And Xi is TI, I think. Yeah.
I want you to send me this.
Right, and anyway, so this one explains all of the pod layer terms and relates them to the Socionics versions and the MBTI versions. Right. Okay.
Wait. Can you go back to that thing for a second? Because I was just thinking of something. I'm sorry. I just.
Well, all the same information is in the convertogram.
No, I want you to read the words that are said there, like, you know how it says reality or something?
Reality is V.
Okay, now what's the word next? Can you read those words to me slowly?
V.
No. Reality.
Oh, possibility. Possibility for Ni. So that's Ne.
Okay. So then the next one
is perfection. So Xi. So all the introverted ones end in I.
Wait a second. You said perfection was the gray one?
Yeah, that's
the one.
So Xi is TI.
I know, but what it says perfection, right?
Yeah, it says perfection. Yeah.
Remember I told you that the bottom right is Christ consciousness, perfection and harmony.
Uh, what I can do is get rid of the bottom bit, and I can try and get it all in for you.
And then unknown and the known, that's the void. And then system and people, I guess that's what I'm connecting to when I look at past lives, system of people. And then when I wait a minute, but this does not apply to me, does it?
Yeah, they have. Do you know they have that in Podlair? They have like past lives. They call them like spirit guide, I think, and like animal totems and all that kind of stuff.
It is a spirit guide. Yes, it's exactly. Oh my god. And then, so wait, hold on. This system, people, reality, possibility, all that is only for the INTP, right?
No, this is just basically this is for all the functions.
Oh,
You
wow.
might be. I think you should get into Podlair, and
my
you can
God.
tell me about it.
Wait, hold that. I'm gonna actually take a screenshot of this right now. All right, screenshot.
You see, the thing is, my convertogram has all of this same information on.
See, that's why I'm telling you this is a universal IXSQ. It's universal for all the types.
They talk about it all the way. That's what they talk about in Podlair.
Yeah, I know. Podlair talked about eye movement without even noticing.
It's about mojo, the type of energy that people have. Their mojo.
Yeah, and I think that energy is exerted through eyes. You send your energy out to what you look at.
Right, so... Right, let's send you the slides. Right, so what I'll do is I'll put a convertogram up for people because it's the same information is on there, but it relates it to other things. So it's all there where it says personal values, reactive theorizing, and it's related to the functions.
It is related to the functions the way I've perceived it using my. I'm gonna incorporate that religious tool that you just showed me, dude. I'm gonna incorporate that into my model, the graphs I draw. You know how I've shown you 3 graphs? I'm gonna include those words: reality, possibility, harmony, perfection. I might just add it on top of Christ consciousness.
But you see, all of this stuff in yellow is from this diagram here. All the stuff is I've just missed out the symbols. So, for instance, vi, known, certainty, all of that in the gold rings is from that diagram, but it relates it. People can convert it to the functions and the types. I've got the Kersey types there and the MBTI types and all of that.
Let me see those things. No. The other picture.
Oh, you love the other picture when I put so much effort into the convertogram.
I'm so sorry, Ben. I'm getting. This is touching me because it's a spiritual thing.
Okay.
So can you explain
the Mandela?
Hold on a second. You know what's interesting? When I look at the for me, there's here it is. Here you go, Nicole. When I look at the thing in the middle, the black star, you know what I see? Something black that's not aware it's an eye.
Oh. Oh, wow. So if you were doing this, would you put an eye in the middle?
Yes. Absolutely.
Looking for Podlair. Podlair. And so it's called their YouTube channel called Podlair.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Their YouTube channel is called Podlair Planet.
Ah.
And their leader is called Coach, and he's a Naiji. So Nai, N-I, and G for F-E. So Naiji. In Model G, there would be Naijai because of N-I-F-I. I suppose INTJ is Nizi because it got the TE. Nizi. Right, I've now clicked the button, and those two images have been sent to you. Right. So you don't want to look at the convertogram.
Okay, can you tell me what VY and NY means?
Where does it say VY?
VY.
Oh, that's just their way to cover up the fact that they've ripped off. It just means NE and NI. You see, I've got it in it's all explained in the convertogram. It's got the extra information in there. Because all the pod layer stuff is in yellow.
Which one's FE?
FE, ethics of emotions. So G. They pronounce that G.
Interesting. Which one is pronounced G in the other one?
Would it be that one? It's the same. It's exactly the same setup. The other one is it's that same quadrant. This one, G, in red. They call it people. You got relational dynamics, G, people, and then in the convertogram, I'll put that same information in there, where I've put people, G, and relational dynamics. All the same information is copied across, except I've missed the symbols out because that's not. And I've even put a little pronunciation guide there for like G, and with an asterisk that is E as in eel. For the double Y is E as in eel, and the G sort of pronounced like that. Z J E E G V Ni Z. So I've got the pronunciation guide there. So like I said, the convertogram has lots of extra information. And people can see the pencil lines that I haven't rubbed out very well. The original pencil. Now this infuriated Jack Aaron. It's like, how dare you say that all these systems are compatible? And there you got Nephi. There you are, intuition of opportunities, which is change intuition in pod layer, possibility, Ni. You got Nephi, and then you got the socionics code, ENFP, champion. Actually, that would become the advocator in personology. So that is the Ni Jai. Jai is Fi, and there it is Jai, and you've got the little pronunciation guide there as well. I Jai, as in I Jai. So now, based on this guide, can you pronounce the pod layer functions?
Not yet.
Well, what about this?
Nigh.
So it's nigh on possible. And then what about this one?
Vi.
Yeah. And this one.
I still don't think that my bottom right is an I.
Well, no, This is Fi. This is Jai. Just
I
the
know.
pronunciation.
I know, but I feel like there's something not clicking in my head, and it's just that there.
Oh, I got an idea. Maybe you have to rotate the mandala for it to fit you.
Yes, try that.
So maybe what you could do is do something like this, but rearrange. You could have your own mandala and rearrange it, and maybe yours could be rotatable, where people can turn it for their own type. Or
Yep.
maybe it would need a more complex mechanism. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Thinking it's gonna need something a little more. But yes, the rolling thing, I see potential in that. But you know what? I actually want to try it. Rotate it. Rotate it now. Try it.
What, me? I can rotate it about 90 degrees.
Rotate it so that for me, NI is in the top left, and I just want to see what comes up for it.
Right. NI top left. Where is it at the moment? Right.
For the ENFP, is this the ENFP Mandela? Oh no, this is the INTP.
I'll try and get it in the top left.
Okay,
There.
yeah, this is the INTP.
Intuition
Yes,
of time. Oh, wait a minute. It went wrong. Sorry, when I zoomed in, it went.
Ben,
I'll have to rotate it again.
Ben, can you explain to me first? Is this the INTP diagram?
No, this is just the pod left. This is just the functions for all of the functions.
Oh, okay, yeah, rotate it. You're
Right.
right. Rotate it.
But if I zoom in, it might go a bit funny. So that's about as unless I saved it. Maybe you can do a little zoom. I see. I'll try and zoom in. It's going. There you go.
Try and make NI for you top right, because it's for you it's TINI top right.
Right. I'll have to rotate it a bit more. Right. There you go. Intuition of time.
Now what is it paired next to?
It's next to VI, so experiential sensing, SI.
Okay, so FI and IFI, this is the INFJ that we're looking at right now.
Right. And in their top left, they would have TI and FI.
Top left is wait, did you just say TI and FI?
Yeah.
You just said
You
that.
see it?
You just said top right. You just said
Oh,
top right.
Oh, the top right is SI and NI, or NI and SI, depending on how you want to read it.
Interesting. So this is for both. No, this is for all types who are introverted sensing.
This is just all the functions and how they relate.
Okay, hold on. This is how introverted sensing types perceive. Now, what is on the top left?
Top left is TI and FI. If you look in the middle, in fact, what we can do is we can simplify this by going right into the middle, and where you can see that's TI, FI, SI, NI. So we can sort of like just go with this, and that might simplify things.
I see. Here's the thing. I I think that the reason why this contradicts my theory is that I don't believe that up is introverted and down is extroverted. I believe that uh, right is no. I believe that um, like right is your type. You're introverted or extroverted is right, and then whether you're introverted or extroverted, it's left. So every introvert activates their introversion by looking to the right. Every introvert activates their their extroversion by looking to the left. And
Right.
then for an extrovert, every extrovert activates their extroversion looking to the right, and then their introversion looking to the left.
Right. Well, what they've just done it in terms of like the Jungian temperament. So, for instance, you've got the extroverted judging functions in the top left. You've got the extroverted perceiving functions in the top right. You've got the introverted judging functions in the bottom right, and you've got the introverted perceiving functions in the bottom left. So that's what they've just done.
Yeah, I know that's how you did it, but for some reason I
And
think that.
that's how they did it as well in the original diagram.
Oh, wait, go back to it. Go back to it. Go back to yours, zoom in. I see in the very middle an eye that's covered in black. Again.
Yeah, well, that's how the lines cross when
It's black.
you can see here that the bits of label I've like stuck on in order to try and make it a little bit more legible. And
Ben,
like here, bits of
Ben, I hear your demon right now.
my demon.
Yes.
It's practicality. Make it better. There's a bit of Tipex.
To shut the fuck up and don't say what it is I want to say.
Alright.
Just shut my fucking mouth, and if I fucking say what I'm gonna fucking say, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's what it's telling me.
Kill me or kill you?
Kill me.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's telling me. Do not fucking say it, Brandon. I'll fucking kill you. I will 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 fucking kill you.
Okay. Right, so going back to your diagram for that's for you, I think. Is that for you? Is this for the ENF?
That is for no. That is for the Oh shoot! My phone battery is running out. Let me charge it.
Oh, is it for ISTJ?
It is for if it's SITI top right, then it is for ISTJ. Correct.
Yeah, you've got SETE in the top left, and their extinguishment relation is SETE. I think their extinguishment is it's square 8 to square 5. Let me check that with the other one. Yeah, this is the extinguishment relationship. Yeah, 8 to 5. Yeah, so that'll be extinguishment of ESTP is ISTJ. Yeah, ISTJ. Right. Anyhow, so, and then you have me accessing my normal functions by looking in the top right, where I would be imagining things.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got your phone plugged in as well?
Let me move my phone.
Right, so could you go over all of the text that you sent me?
Did I go over?
Yeah, tell us what you actually sent me.
I sent to you my eye movement charts. I
Yep.
sent you the INTP, the INTJ, and the ISTJ, and what they look like when they're looking in that direction. Well, not what they look like, but what they see, what they perceive. They perceive, um, in the top right, INTPs perceive TINI, past, future visions, and then the Sun Angel, in my opinion, that's what I like to believe is there, and then God is responsible for that Sun Angel. So that's the top right for the INTP. Then the top left connects them to past visions, which will be TE and NE format, I suppose. It's just how it is. I gut feel it would have. I don't know what the models have told me. I'm just listening to what my intuition is telling me, I guess. So I'm just kind of going with it. And then I believe that when you do use those functions, you activate a sort of trance whilst doing so, and that's why it is very difficult for people to do it, because the cause of depression for most people is their disconnection from looking to their top left. And when they look to their top left, they enter this trance that is so wide and immersive that it actually expands your horizon, expands your perceptions, and you start to grow as a person. You start to use your TE and your NE. And remember, it was described in socionics that the creative function is what gives meaning to life, and therefore looking up to the top left and activating any is essentially why it gets you out of depression, because it is activating your creative function when it is not in use often by the person. For most of us, it is not. We often don't look to the top left. We ignore it. We truly do. We just don't. I've noticed it in people constantly. When they look to the top left, they say something like, "Oh, that's not true," or "Oh, that's wrong," or "Oh, some." It's always a negative phrase. It's always just something that, it's like people need to just. It's my form of EMDR that I've applied to myself and that I have used on myself to help me find perspective, to help me find meaning, and to help me cure my depression.
So,
And that is why the top left is the most important aspect of this entire model.
so what was the initialism that you used?
The what?
The initialism, when you said some MR, like when you use letters to stand for something. Did you
Letters?
say some? Did you say something like MDR or something like that?
Oh, it's called eye movement desensitization and something. I forgot what the R stands for, but it's basically a movement of therapy that involves moving your eyes into different parts of your brain, and that this has been used to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. This has been used to treat depression, anxiety. It was offered to me while I was in rehab, and I never did it. And it's just moving your eyes in certain directions. You're following the paddle. You're following a ball or something with your eyes. And after a session, I spoke to my friend who, while I was in rehab, he talked to me, and he had post-traumatic stress disorder because he was a veteran fighting in war. And he did it, and I said, "Did it work?" And he said, "Actually, it worked. It was actually really helpful." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I expected it to be bullcrap, but it was actually really, really helpful." And I was like, "This EMDR stuff sounds interesting." But I think I've kind of found EMDR my own way, just through using Blanco model and my spiritual beliefs and just a gut feeling.
Right. So when I look to my top right, or another way of putting it is, when I'm in normal INTP mode, does that make me look to my top right?
Does that make you look to your top right? Wait. Well, no, that's when you're in your well, you know how it was described by the Galenko model as your social role,
Yeah, social mission. Yeah.
social mission. If you're looking to the top right, a lot it's because you're on your social mission, basically. You're on your mission for society as opposed to yourself. So when you look to the top left, you're doing the opposite. You're living for yourself, basically.
Right.
Top left is living for yourself. And that's the message I'm sending out here.
Right, gotcha. And top right is for your social mission, social role. Okay.
That is the message that I am sending out here to the world. Communicate with people and talk. You look to your top left more, and you will fucking tell them who you actually are. I'm not kidding.
Right. So when I'm looked to the top right, I'm in my social mission.
Yes, you're on your mission for society. This is what they want to see of me, so I will give them this, and this is blah, 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 blah. No, when you look to the top left, that's your mission, your personal mission. You find it.
Right, okay.
That's how I found.
What
Look,
about
I'm petting my dog. This is a German Shepherd.
Right.
Dog wants to keep being pet, so I'm gonna have to tell her to go. No, Mia, that's it.
So I assume the dual type is so another way to represent this, Brandon, in terms of like for all types, would be if you put in the top left extinguishment relation,
Yeah,
and if you put in the top right identical, and then if you put in the bottom left dual, and then if you put in
you can like
the bottom right super ego.
If you want, you can draw it in for me.
Right. But so then people can relate that to all the types. So it's extinguishment.
Yes, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that from now on for the rest of them. Can you send me that in Facebook? Just send me that idea so that.
Right. Okay. So. Right. Okay. So. Right. What do we now? Right. I'll write it now. Top left extinguishment wish relation. Top right is identical. God, identical relation. Bottom left is dual. Bottom right is super. Yes, super ego, because FISI is ISFP. Super ego.
And then we should compare this to my other one, the ISTJ, and see if the relations are correct in that one.
What? Yeah, okay. But then I want to get back to it to ESFJ. But okay, so let's.
We can go with ESFJ if you want.
Yeah, because I want to. How do I show ESFJness with when I look to the bottom left?
That's not something I want to talk about.
Ooh! Is it dark stuff? Is it bad stuff?
Yes.
Right.
You don't have to put this video, by the way, if you don't want to. You can remove it. I don't care. I don't mind.
No, I'm going to put this video up. No, it's good. It's good NE stuff.
Okay.
I'm an NE person. I like the NE. I like the connections.
All right, cool.
Because I can test it out for myself and look at other people's. And in the way, I might find out something else. There might be a different system that comes up. It'll be a process of learning.
Yes, you will. There is something you're going to find out.
Right, so what about those people who become more like their dual?
People who become more like their dual. In socionics, it's described as a beautiful growth.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, does this apply if the dual, like if let's say you're a good person, then like your dual, I don't know, wants to hurt you or something?
So would this be like a bad version of your jewel?
Yes. A very bad one. Like a dangerously bad one.
Could it be a sort of unrequited intoxication with your jewel?
Intoxication, yes.
Is it almost like a shadow, this part?
What I'm seeing looks like one.
Oh. In me?
Around you.
Okay. So the shadow is an ESFJ shaped shadow. Right, okay. Would that relate to an Enneagram 4 disintegrating to Enneagram 2?
Yes.
So, what about those INTPs that aren't an Enneagram 4? The ones that are Enneagram 5?
The ones who are Enneagram 5 would disintegrate into 7. So they would become kind of drug addict-ish. And like, just kind of too... I don't know, 7's addiction. So their vice is addiction and drugs. I see them becoming a drug addict. But, I mean, I don't... Wait, are you a 5 or a 4?
I'm a 4-wing 5.
Okay. So like a disintegration of 4-wing 5 would be like a 2-wing 7. Be like a caregiving intoxicant, a bad one, like a in pain one. That's what I would basically call them, in pain. Because bad is not what they're in pain.
When you're talking about people being depressed and looking down, do they look down to the bottom left?
Yes.
Right. Now, in the NLP bottom left, they have, all right, it's from their own, the auditory digital internal dialogue.
Yes.
When they're looking to their bottom left.
Yes.
So what would that be like? What kind of dialogue would that be for the INTP?
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Why is that doing that? That? Why is that doing that? Why is that doing that? That, basically.
So, does the ESFJ part of the INTP nag them?
Yes.
So it's like being in a relationship with an ESFJ that actually turns out to be a nightmare.
The worst kind of nightmare.
So it's like the person is with their jewel. Now, when they're with this, in this state, do they still love their jewel? And they can't see the bad influence.
Of course they do. Of course. They don't even know it's the void.
So, should the INTP still grow to ESFJ?
No, it would be more like a black hole sucking the life out of something and then taking it with it into the next life.
Because generally, when people mature, they go, maybe there's a different version of this where you can go to like a positive side of your jewel and the negative side of your jewel. How about that? So, for instance, here's an example. ESTP could go to the negative side of their jewel INFJ, where they become really manipulative and they have the ability to use the INFJ skills for evil ends.
I'm really like freaked out right now. And I'm sorry for freaking you out.
That's okay.
I didn't mean to. I really didn't.
That's okay. It's fine. Because I have heard about EJR&D talking about people where they can become like their dual, like an evil version of their dual. So, for instance, like if an INFJ becomes like an evil ESTP, or like if an ESTP becomes like an evil INFJ, which is what quite a few people think has happened to EJR&D when he's become religious. They think he's become like gone towards like an evil INFJ.
Oh, okay, so he turned into his dual. Wait, so what's my dual? ISTJ?
Yeah.
That would be my SITI is my demon, is my whole.
Yeah, well, I think my view of it is that there's like a good version of it moving towards your dual and a bad version of moving towards your dual. So, for instance, you can have ESTPs that become manipulative and use like the INFJ skills of FE and NI.
Here's the thing, I think your dual is not bad for you. I just think it's like possibly a source of because it doesn't no, this doesn't apply to all relationships. Here's the thing, when I look to my SITI, that's an
ISTJ.
which is my little sister, who herself is trapped in a void. And I'm trying to save her because she's kind of miserable. But she's trapped. She's like herself, not the void, but is trapped in one.
Right. Okay. If we relate this to some Jungian concepts, because you're familiar with Jung, the dual, I think, is like the soul image. And you've also got the shadow. So, could there be a situation where someone has, instead of going to they've sort of misrecognized their shadow for their soul image, and they've moved to their shadow instead of moving towards their soul image? The soul image being the jewel, and the shadow being the.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. But here's the thing. Like, I think the average viewer would agree that a spiritual person who's moving towards a good angel would not have accepted Jesus Christ into their life. Jesus is one of the main ones I talk to. He's one of the main dudes. He's on my bottom right. I said, "Hi, Jesus." That's my relationship with Jesus. You know, like I think when you set an intention for Jesus Christ and whatever, like you're not exactly like dealing with something that's not. Like, I don't think Jesus would allow you to do something that's bad. You know what I mean?
I think that bit connects well because it's the super ego relation in the bottom right.
The thing is, I look up to Jesus. I talk to him and I ask him for advice, and he gives me good advice all the time. When I look to my bottom right, remember how I told you he's just like, breathe with your stomach. He just tells me to remember my body, do yoga. He reminds me of how to get out of my little rut that I'm in quickly. So that's what he does for me.
Right, so just to clarify for the audience, the bottom left is the evil version of your jewel. Maybe could even be the shadow masquerading as your soul image.
One of those two, yes.
But do you think that people can still move to their jewel positively?
Yes.
Right.
Of course, your dual is not. Here's the thing: your dual is not an evil person. Your dual is someone who's usually just trapped in a void. However, sometimes in this. Like, they can either be trapped in the void or be the void. That's basically what the two options are. They are trapped in the void or they are the void.
Now, how about this as an idea? Maybe when the person moves to the negative side of their dual, if you just flip that round, then you get the conflictor. Because then you get SEFE rather than FESE.
The reason why I put it as FESC is because I believe that because it is directly aligned in the opposite direction of TI and I, that it has to
Right.
be as judging perceiving.
Right, I see. Yeah, I see you got those tandem pair functions, TIFE, in the diagonal axis from the top right to the bottom left. And from the top left to the bottom right, you have TENE in a tandem axis, the dual pairing of the functions, TE with FI and NE with SI. Okay.
So I think that because of that the bottom left is therefore can only remain as FESE. I wouldn't change it to SEFE because conflictor. I don't know if that's necessarily or at least from what I've been seeing. The reason this whole model came into existence is because I've noticed that people in my life and people in other people's lives have a person in their past body / past lives section who is either trapped in a void, or trapped with a void, like as in they are the void. So it's distinguishing whether the dual in this position is trapped in a void or the void.
So what does this model of yours tell us about duality? Is duality still a valid concept?
Let me think about that for a second. I think it is. You know why?
Why?
Because the TINI is most equipped to save the FESC from the void if they are trapped in the void. The TINI, however, cannot save the void. It can only save what is trapped in the void. The void itself, however, is only going to take you. It's about distinguishing whether it's a void or trapped in a void.
Right.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't. I will tell you this right now, Ben. I do not know what the answer is myself. I will tell you that I heard something, but I'm not saying it's your dual. I'm saying it might be something that has your dual. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Let me just point that out.
Right. So, can we have a combination of things? So, for instance, if you think about the supervisor, can you have a situation where you would have a combination where it would go SCTE?
For the INTP?
Yeah, I mean, you remember how I got my idea with Enneagram where you've got like a negative version of it?
Holy crap. I just realized something, Ben. EJR&D is your serious angel. I'm not kidding. I need to speak to him. With you.
Right. Now,
That guy is awake. That guy is awake, and I need to speak to him. EJRND, if you're watching this, I gotta speak to you. Okay?
right.
I know you know.
Wow. So people watching this are seeing some serious NE combining of models and trying to look at things from different angles and understand things. So this is like probably the best NE hangout I've done in terms of looking at things from
different angles. And
You're welcome.
looking at intertype relations in relation to integration and disintegration.
Yes.
Because this is something I was looking at a little bit myself with Model G, and it's something that we touch on. And Maria said that the model is not yet at the level in terms of mental health scale. And when I asked her about disintegrating towards the supervisor, she says it's that idea is very much in an early stage and would need to be fleshed out. So I recommend you watch the video that I did on supervision, on the supervision relation. So I talk about my idea of integration and disintegration in that. And there's lots of good information from Maria. That was 3 hours long, that video.
Wait, and who's Maria?
Maria, I'll just say Maria K. Don't want to say her full name.
What's her
on
type?
air. INFJ.
Okay. Hi, Maria.
If she's watching this.
Oh,
She's pretty busy at the moment with holidays, with Christmas stuff. She's the one that did the really good translations. The really smooth translations of ESFP, INTP, and INFJ.
I see.
And ENFJ and INTJ are in the pipeline. Pipeline has a bit of a blockage at the moment, but they're in the pipeline. Might have to call the plumber out. Get the plunger down and get things sped up a bit. So I have to be patient. Gotta be patient.
I know there's more you want me to say, but I won't say it on the air because it's like.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
Right. No, I don't bug her for translations. I'm very patient. Right, past body. Here we go. Past lives. The relationship with the dual and past lives. What's going on there and past body. Oh. Is that something not to be talked about? Okay. What about that? The past lives and past body for ESFJ, for the jewel in the bottom left.
Okay, I just saw a vision of your past life.
Ah, right. What was it?
The same void that's surrounding you now took you in your past life.
Ooh.
And, you both committed suicide together.
Ooh. Oh, dear.
I'm sorry to whoever it is. Leave them.
Oh, okay.
And that's the message. That's what you were patiently waiting for me to say. Now we can continue.
Okay. So, right. I'm just going to post that in the YouTube group. So, okay, you talked about past lives. So who was the other person that committed suicide with me?
The person you're with now.
Oh, okay. Right. What about the body?
No, I'm not done the call. I'm still walking. I'll talk to you later. I'm busy. Hello?
Yep, I'm still here. How is your battery at the moment?
How's my what?
Battery.
13%, so I can walk around for a bit.
Right, okay.
But I will take my webcam off for now.
Yep, that's okay.
Alright.
Right, okay, and what I will do in the meantime is I'll click on my square so that people can see the diagram. So, well, what's the So there's no particular type, no particular relation for the body. It's just people. It's just people looking down.
Down is yourself. That's your relationship to yourself. So when you're looking down, you are an INTP in full. Or actually, no, you're not an INTP. You're just you're a body. You're a body. Your INTP is your mind. Um, Looking down at your body, that's your body, mind, and then the angels and God are spirits. The mind, body, spirit correlation is made in the graph.
Right. And what else I think you should put is when you do this diagram is in the top right you can say social mission.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Right.
I am definitely going to do that because it's important that people realize that the reason why looking to your top left is the cure for depression is because it takes you away from your social mission. You move away from what it is society wanted you to do. You know, what you were pretty much beaten into submission by looking, and you pretty much got stuck ignoring your top left. You really did. That's how it happened. So yes, and then top left, cure for depression.
I'm writing this in messages to you. So if you when you're on the next diagram you do.
Do we have any viewers?
We will do in future. And what you can do to help me, Brandon, is you can post this video all over Facebook.
All over every single group?
Yes, all the groups that you're a member of.
Okay, every single one.
Yes, all the groups you remember.
I will post it on ISTJ, ISFJ, NFP, every single fucking all 16 types and every Enneagram type. Enneagram group type. I don't care. I'll post it on every Socionics group, World Socionics Society. I'll join a stupid group.
Yes, that will piss them off. That would be good.
I don't give a fuck if I piss them off, bitch. I'll be like, you know what? Fucking look at my video.
Yeah, that will really piss them off if you post it on World Socionics Society. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be great. That'd be doing me a big favour by you posting it around. Because sometimes I press my luck with posting my videos around because what happens is, you're one of my Facebook friends. When I have posted these things in multiple groups in the past, what is the effect of that on your notifications?
When you post things, what is the effect on me? Oh,
yeah.
I get a lot of notifications and I always click them and I see, like, it's, for me, what I see every time, Ben, I'm going to be completely honest, is you're trying to find some kind of answer and you're not finding it. That's what I see. And it's like you're looking so hard, so desperately, and you're like trying, you're like trying to look human nature. What is this? What is socionics? What is the human mind? What is it? 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 And I'm pretty much making this video to tell you what it is.
I'm sort of thinking from like a practical point of view, is like, how many notifications do you get? Are you getting overwhelmed by
every single thing you post? I get.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like every group that you're a member of, you're the same group as me.
Ben, when I see all that stuff, Ben, I see somebody who's proactively trying to save their own life.
Right. Okay. Well, what I've been doing recently is I've been posting it in comments of videos I've already posted, and that way you won't get the notification unless you're actually subscribed to that original post.
Okay. Well, I don't mind getting the videos. I don't really. I never watch them. I just see them. I see the notifications. I get a lot of notifications every single day, and honestly, Ben, I don't mind.
Yeah, but like I do now. I mean, like I said, because I've noticed other people said the same thing, and I've realised that because a lot of friends of mine are in a lot of groups as well, and I don't want them getting the notifications. So I would.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So I will post it in comments of videos of a related video. So, for instance, if it's like say the videos with Jeff, I'll post it in the thread with all the other videos, and so like the first video will be in there with Jeff, and then in the comments you'll see part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. And so I'll post part 6 in that thread, and it bumps up and so the original video will get more views as well. But people won't be overwhelmed with notifications.
Okay. I mean, how long is this video? I mean, even if you don't post it, I would like to see it myself.
Oh, I will post this. We need to cover this in even more depth because I want to understand this. Right. So, looking down into your body, being your pure type, but also you are your. So how does that differ? The looking down into your body, how does that differ from the social mission when you look up into the top right?
When you look to the down body, how does that differ from the social mission when you look to the top right? When you look to the down body, okay, you know how earlier I was explaining, well, I don't know if I explained this in the call, but when you look down, as far down as you possibly can, just look as far down as you possibly can, eventually your eyes will begin to cross. And as your eyes cross, your nose will come into vision, because when your eyes cross, they crisscross. And like your nose is just there, you can see it. And then what this is doing is, this is actually a form of meditation that used by Hinduism. It's they use the energy sensors called, and they call this one the Muladhara chakra, or the root chakra. And what this does is it grounds you to your body. So when you're doing that meditation, you're connecting to your body. And when you look down, as far down as possible, you accidentally do that meditation at the same time. So it's the exact same thing.
Will that help people fall asleep if they've got insomnia?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'll try that then.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Now, what's the bit that looks like a boot, where it's like now we're going to the super ego,
Mm-hmm.
and you got future body.
Yeah, future body is Christ consciousness. It's basically where I look to talk to Jesus.
Right, okay.
Or actually, if I say Jesus, then I'm implying I'm a Christian. So let me just clarify this, people. Jesus, Muhammad, anyone, whoever, they're all the same. What's it called? Christ. It's like Christ consciousness is basically God consciousness. So basically, for any of you antichrists out there who don't want to use this because you cannot believe in Christ, it's okay. It's okay. Christ doesn't want you to believe that anyway, because he does not want your ass figuring this shit out. So
Well,
I'm just saying that much. I don't
well,
mean to
what?
offend you, Ben. I don't mean to offend you, because I know people are not Christian or whatever, but the only way you'll be able to use this eye chart is if you believe that there is a Christ consciousness, because otherwise, if there is no Christ consciousness, then none of this makes sense. Because if there's no Christ consciousness, then there's no God. If there's no God, then there's no Holy Spirit, there's no past lives, there's no any of that. So,
Right.
very important.
What about those people who are looking to the bottom right and what they think is Christ, what they think is a good person is actually the Antichrist?
That's exactly how it works, because the bottom right is the void. Wait, no, bottom left is the void. Bottom right is future body, and the reason why it is Christ is because Christ's plan is universal reconciliation. What universal reconciliation means is that every single person on earth goes to heaven. Every soul goes to heaven. So the Christ consciousness, what it does is, it is your future body, it is your universally reconciled self. Once everyone has made it into heaven, you are talking to that you. Once you are Christ's consciousness. So basically, the reason why it is not a shadow is because my Christ consciousness talks to me in a way that helps me at every moment. It's always like, you need to breathe correctly. You need to breathe with your stomach. That's it.
Right.
It's just, you need to relax. Maybe take a break, take a nap. Maybe take a 15-minute nap, Brandon. That's all you got to do. And then, it does not give me information like, oh, go take over the world. Oh, do this, do that. No, all it does is it calms me down. And then when my sister needs advice of some kind with, related to a boyfriend problem, whatever, I ask Christ consciousness, and he's like, it's okay. It'll be okay. He loves you. Don't worry. Like it reassures her that her relationship is okay, because it's not like that. Basically, she's not with a void.
Right. I think that one of the equivalents of Christ that you mentioned is the Antichrist, and that people are connecting to that. They're actually connecting to the Antichrist, and that Antichrist is actually telling them to do things that would ordinarily send them to hell. I don't want to name any names.
Well, I don't think that's what's happening, because
Is the Antichrist the universally reconciled self?
No, but they
Does the Antichrist believe that everyone deserves to go to heaven?
no.
I don't think so. Like I believe that this what I talk to you is something I believe that every soul is good deep down. But that some are still void until they're saved. Basically.
Right. Your sound has gone a bit peculiar at the moment. It almost sounds as if you put your phone in your pocket.
Sorry. I didn't have
Um,
it in my pocket. I had it in my hand under my shoulder.
yeah, but what I'm sort of saying is, what about those people who are in a religion which I feel that they are unknowingly worshipping the Antichrist?
In that case, that would be really creepy, and that person probably has the ability to, like, I don't know, destroy the world. But that would be really creepy, and I would not want to associate with that person. In fact, I'd want to kill that person.
Right. People can make their own minds up about what I'm getting at.
Oh no, I know what you're getting at. No, what I'm getting at is either if I remember how I told you that in my past lives I've killed myself
Right.
over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I can tell you who I was, but I'm not going to say it in the video. But basically, I can either kill myself because I think I'm talking to the Antichrist, or I cannot kill myself because I think I'm talking to Christ.
Right. So now we've like, okay. So you've also got future body related there to the. So this is like, is this like someone's future? The way they can progress.
The future body, basically, if you meditate on your bottom right, that is also healing depression.
Right. So that's something else. I'll send that for something else to put in your diagram.
Yes.
To add.
Top left and bottom right are depression healers, and then like I guess bottom left void, top right unconscious.
Well, so far your system is pretty internally consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Depression healer, bottom right. Now, okay. So, what specific to me? How is my super ego ISFP?
Your super egos and ISFP. Do you have any ISFPs in your life who are trying to make you find Jesus?
No.
Well, what I think is basically either you're gonna find an ISFP who does that, or you're gonna be talking to yourself while you look to the bottom right, and you're gonna realize that you're talking to a soother self, a self of yours that helps you, that is kind to you, because when you're into that trance, then you produce thoughts. It's a meditation. See, for people, you have to meditate on it.
What I can say is those two functions are what I'm working on to improve. FI and SI.
Well, I guarantee that looking to your bottom right more will help you with that.
And also, you know what else that is? That is the social adaptation block.
Yes, and it will help your social mission talking to this Christ consciousness, because you'll realize, fuck the social mission.
Right, so I think you should write that there as well. Bottom right. I want you to write social adaptation. Right, so that's good. That's internally consistent with so you've got social mission top right and social adaptation bottom right. Right, okay. So where do the other blocks come in?
The other blocks.
Yeah,
Well,
so
let's look at top left first.
well, top left is in the top right.
No,
What I mean is
above the INTP, what is the NETE block? What is that called?
for the INTP, there, you see, any TE block is half social. It's half. That would be like
Boom! That's the key. That's the key. That's the missing piece of the riddle, Ben.
Yep. Battery, don't fail me now. Missing piece of the riddle. Not the time for the battery to go.
No, it is a 10%. We're good.
Right. So the social adaptation block in. I'll just show people. Social adaptation block in INTP is NEFE. And the extinguishment relationship is 8 to 5. 5 to 8 will be the mirror relationship. Now, Maria has noticed how in Hangouts that I sometimes shift towards an ENFP.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if I'll hope to do a Hangout in future with Maria where she talks more about shifts.
Wait a minute. No. Hold on a second. Do you have any blocked with F? No. Wait. What do you have FE blocked with?
I have FE blocked with any in the self-affirmation block.
In what order? Is it FE any or any FE?
Any FE.
Okay then. That just explained a lot to me. I think you needed me, Ben. I think you needed me to send that message to you. And I'm not kidding.
Right, so I've been told by Maria that I act like an ENFP sometimes. So what does that tell you?
I don't know. Maybe that you were getting a message from me of some kind and you were wondering what it was. I didn't know what it was at the time either. People act from the unconscious all the time, you know? Like people do things without noticing. They do things like just without trying. It's just how people adapt to what's going on around them. People have to listen to like the things that to them make sense, and and they adapt to the things that make sense to them. And it's just like
we could do a video in the future with Maria where we look at your system in relation to Victor Galenko's shift system of how people change their behavior depending on certain situations. So for instance, Maria said that when I'm in a hangout and I'm doing my any enthusiastic thing and I'm using FE to emote, then in that situation I have shifted to any FE, ENFP.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm not going to do.
Oh.
I've been having this conversation entirely by looking to my top left.
Right.
Pretty much most of it, at least. If you want me to look at my bottom right, I can talk to you there.
Right. So let's have a look at ENFP. Let's see what their unit of self-affirmation should be FISI. So I wonder if you become ISFP when
I disintegrate.
Oh no! When you disintegrate, when your unit of self-affirmation.
You know how I told you earlier that your supervisor is your integration, and then your supervisee is disintegration.
Oh, I sort of see it as the other way around.
Really? Because when I see what you're saying. Oh, when I integrate into ISFP.
Well, okay, let's go to yours. Yes, because your super. Well, I have people integrating towards their dual. So you would be it would be integrating into SITI, and again that goes across blocks. That splits blocks.
Wait, hold on. So I integrate into my dual.
That's what I think. Because
So,
it also shows up in what Dario has talked about.
so I
Empirical
integrate
evidence.
into my void.
Maybe. I mean, Jung has talked about the good and the bad coming together and accepting the bad in people, so you become an integrated person rather than
No.
separated from the
Here's
bad.
the thing, Ben. I wanna kill bad people. I do not like bad people.
Well, it's maybe with Carl Jung I think he said that with integration is when you integrate the darker sides of your personality, you can have more of a control over it, and you've not got revenge of the shadow by trying to repress it.
Yeah,
no. To repress the bad side.
Let me tell you straight up, Ben. I hate bad people. I want to kill bad people. I do not like bad people. To me, are the void, not trapped in the void. And to me, bad people are what ruined my life. And I was trapped by one for many lives, and I know who it is. And it's I don't know, heartbreaking for me to know, I guess. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm out of it now, so I don't even need to talk about it. But basically, the point I'm trying to make is that the void is there, and you have been shown it by your ISFP, whatever, ENFP person who's talking to you right now, and you have seen the void, and yeah, run.
Right. So I think the person integrates to. I mean, and Dario has shown that when types get to midlife after 35, they develop qualities that are either like their dual or their activity type. So maybe INTJ becomes like ESFP or ISFP. So let's have a look at INTJ. So SEFE, square 6 to square 7. I might have a better diagram for that now. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. There we go. Square 6 to square 7 for INTJ, where Dario has talked about becoming more like an ESFP in recent years. So if we go back to, if we talk about, for instance, with INFP, I think that they integrate towards ESTJ, because I see the ESTJ as an embodiment of being productive and disciplined, and that is the weakness that Enneagram 4s have. So they are concrete, so less fantasy filled than the disintegrated Enneagram 4, and they are cooperative with regional norms, whereas the disintegrated Enneagram 4, which is what the INFP usually is when they go bad, is they are cut off from society, self-absorbed, too much in their own fantasy real world, whereas the ESTJ is focused on production and within all of the social networks. So if an INFP becomes more like an ESTJ, they are productive and they have self-discipline. And that also relates to an Enneagram 4 going towards Enneagram 1, with the perfectionist becoming...
You know what happened, Ben?
Yep.
You got trapped into a relationship with your dual, and basically what happened was you're trying to use relational duality, to explain why you should listen to her when she nags, and why you should listen to her when she's always right. She's never wrong. She's a narcissist. You need to run.
I suppose that could be an example of somebody actually falling in love by projecting their ideal partner onto the other person.
Yes. 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 Sorry. Yes. I hear Ariel screaming at me, and I have to tell you what he's saying. That's my serious angel. Hi, Ariel.
Okay. Now I have ESFJ integrate into INTP where they're more logical and they have a sense of direction and they don't get stuck in a rut. And I see ESFJ is disintegrating to an anti-INFJ where they get stuck in a rut and not authentic. Whereas
pretty much using socionics and model A, model G, and everything right now to figure out the formula of your current relationship, being somebody who's a narcissist, not believing what I'm saying. But I understand that you got to figure out your own way, man. And I'm just telling you right now that I've told you the answer. But you're gonna figure it out yourself, but not just by looking at model G, model A, but looking more at the things she says to you. Think about
okay. Right. Right, so I have them disintegrate into an INFJ-shaped hole. So they go down, so where it's the opposite of an INFJ. If we say NI is the ability for them to like develop and see the bigger picture, whereas I think a disintegrated ESFJ does the same thing again and again, and they are not authentic because they are putting other people first too much.
I think Ben. I think the problem is you're trying to make yourself think that you should be more FESE because of your FESE void, when in reality you should be making yourself seem more like either TENE or what was the bottom one? FISI. Try to become more of an ISFP than an ESFJ, and I think you'll find more happiness. No, wait, was it FISI is ISFP? Yes, ISFP, correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen to find an ISFP in your life instantly. Go into the ISFP group and then find one and talk to them and then tell them ask them, how do I live my life? Should I leave this person? And I wonder what the advice would say. It would be like yes. I'm sorry Ben, because you didn't know. I'm sorry you didn't know, and I didn't know mine either. And when I was stuck in mine for so long, it was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? What I don't understand why I'm in so much pain all the time. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like, once you finally get out of it, it's like, finally, your past lives don't even matter anymore because you're not going to kill yourself with that person again. Thank God. Like, for that shit. That shit's over.
Right. Okay, so if we go back to the diagram, we are on. And okay. So specifically ISFP for me, okay, so it matches the social adaptation block in, and I'll just show people for INTP. Because I actually do want to work on these functions. Because we were having a chat before we started about the importance of FI for the INTP. I mean, it's probably easier for. Maybe I can understand what you're saying if you think that maybe some INTPs can become more like an ESFJ, but maybe what you're saying is for most it's too much of a blind alley and it's too much of a distant goal for them to become like the ESFJ. But it's easier for them to work on their third and fourth functions and become more ISFP.
Yes. Yay! And also TENE helps too. Like, that's actually, you know what, right now bottom right is more important for you because that leads you. I think if you meditate on your bottom right, you'll eventually get the idea to look to your top left because it's easier to look to the bottom right. So yeah, that's where you should fall asleep, on the bottom right. Try that.
So you want me to fall asleep by looking to my bottom right?
Yeah. Try
okay.
it.
Now I do realize that this is the big, and I've talked to Wojtek about this in a hangout, and wonder if he'll be away. He might be away. So this is the inflation block for the. So T we have here. While having a clear vision of the problem, finds it hard to take action. Worried that his analysis will have few practical applications. Well versed in business matters, I listen a lot to Peter Schiff, can suggest a variety of entrepreneurial initiatives. Knows how to build an effective organization, but typically does not possess energy and organizational skills. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to Phil now for a bit because he's someone's just called Brandon.
Hello.
Oh, you're back. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. My sister fucking called me, and it was just
Okay.
the wrong moment. And she might call again
Okay.
in a second, so we might get interrupted again. But
Oh, that's okay. You can text back in a hangout, but typically it does not possess the energy and organizational skills necessary to put their knowledge to work. And I've put here, this is why INTPs can score as INTJ and MBTI, because they've got all this judging stuff. They want to be judges in their mind, where they have all these plans, but they don't implement them. And actually, ironically enough, that might be the problem. They have too many plans, and they keep switching between them. So my advice to INTPs and to myself would be to stick to one plan. Don't go to lots of different plans.
And that plan should not be FESE.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Hold on one second, my sister.
Right.
Oh, it's outside. It's there.
Right.
Oh, never mind. My charger was not there.
How about this as an idea? Can someone move to FESE after they have integrated to FISI?
After, yeah, but not always. You have to usually choose one or the other first.
Right. Now, in terms of functional strength, that would make sense in terms of the because arguably the role function is stronger than the tertiary function, and so as someone gets older, they will work on their role function and their tertiary function. So it would be easier. So maybe in the general progression of things,
Right there.
maybe I think generally the INTP is going to improve their FI before they improve their FE. And if they try to move towards the SFJ, that is too early for them to do that. They have to improve FI and SI first. They have to get better with their gut instinct of right and wrong, which is what is so crap with the ENTP. So once an INTP starts having contempt for ENTPs and their lack of morality, then they're on the right path. And they improve their SI, but by becoming more observant, then eventually maybe they can move towards ESFJ. How about that as a path
No,
of improvement?
I don't think so.
Okay. So what do you think the ultimate path should be? It should be towards
It should be towards
the
right FISI.
What about after that?
After that, they can go to a different FESE. One of their past lives, not of their current relationship.
Right. So do you see two versions of the jewel?
No, I just see what I see with my vision of you, and then I'm just telling you not to try to use the Model G stuff to understand it, because it's still there.
Yep, I'm still here. I'm listening.
And that's. I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna get on my laptop. You don't have to end this video yet.
Cool.
I'm gonna just switch to my laptop and then I will rejoin the call because my battery's gonna die if my sister wanted me.
Okay, excellent. Right, okay. I'll do a bit of filling. Smell of information in the absence of real energy. Right, so while Brandon's doing that, I will say what Dario's EEG research showed is that, he says that there are 3 types of progression in people. One is they become more extreme versions of their top 2 functions, or they become like their dual, or they become like their mirror type. So an INTP could become like an ENTP, an INTP could become like an extreme INTP, or an INTP could become a bit more like an ESFJ. So
the INTP looking to the top left becomes more like an ENTJ.
okay, but I was just sort of saying in like Dario's observations. Now, them becoming like Dario did talk about an INTP that was a counsellor, so improving their FI. Maybe you could say that's a bit ISFP and then becoming more observant. But also he talked about one that. Okay, one that was like.
I'm gonna get on my
Okay.
laptop and I'll join you right in a second.
Okay. I mean, you can be logged in twice. Right then. So. Got a lot of any in this hangout now. Okay, I'll show people the ordinary eye accessing cues. These are the normal ones. And this can be, let's see if it says it's reversed for left-handed people. Now, there's an exercise here about with a friend with eye-access and cues. This is the idea where you establish a baseline of what someone does when they're telling you, because these patterns can be reversed. I mean, it's not always that someone is looking to the top left when they are imagining, because some people are, the brains are different, but you establish I don't know. I will send him the link. Right. Copy. I mean, if I end the share screen, if I go here, and then I go then you'll be able to rejoin. Right, so when you ask the question, what colour is your front door? Then they're accessing visual memory, so they should look to the top left. Or, for what they do, see what they do. So I was just telling people here about a baseline of what can happen when they're using eye accessing cues. So when you know somebody is recalling something which is a fact, notice that eye movement. Now, when they lie, but not recalling a fact, they'll be accessing the part which is their imagination. And so once you've established that baseline of what they do when they're telling the truth, and then you can notice some variations from that.
Lie detect me.
We haven't established a baseline.
Okay.
Right. And the right. What do we have here? Now, what I think people might do in future is they might use EEG machines. But Dario said that with certain types, I think he said with NTJ is that you can't actually tell when they're lying in terms of the EEG activity. But with other types that you can.
I don't know about the lying thing with eyes yet. I haven't really researched it.
Yeah.
I haven't really needed it because, like I said, it was more for like my own personal growth myself.
Right.
I never really looked at. The reason I did that is I drew it for other people so that they could find their serious angel
Right.
and their angel and their Christ consciousness in their past lives and God and the devil. Like it's pretty much making you aware of everything. It's like not
Right.
I'm not leaving information out for anyone.
Right. So this is something that you wrote out. I'll just got it on here. We got left is past, right is future, up is ideas, right? Future idea. Okay.
It derives from down the left. Very important. Up left derives from down right in a dialogue. Down right being Jesus Christ consciousness. Up left is serious angel.
Right.
Like I explained
Okay.
earlier.
Right. Now we've got this third type, which is NITI.
An INTJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I looked at for the extinguishment relationship here. Oh yeah, and all I've got to do is look at the top right, and then I'll see the top right, and then I'll see the type. No need to go around the houses and like look at the extinguishment relation. All I've got to do is look here, NITI. Do. I like how you put an eye with eyelashes on, a female eye.
Let me see. I drew this. Actually, I drew this for a guy
Oh,
who I think was a woman in a past life, to be honest.
we got pink around God. With a look how you've done it like the symbol for female, where you've got a circle and then a cross underneath.
You know, I'm actually I'm a homosexual, but I'm in a relationship with a female who I fell in love with, who I have it did not build from any sexual relation whatsoever. And this is the person who helped me to find God. This is like the most important relationship of my life. Anyway, that's irrelevant. That's just sidetracking.
Right. So we have so how does the INTJ improve towards their extinguishment type?
They have to look to the top left.
Yeah, and what does that look like in terms of their thoughts when they do that?
They use NET, and basically, I guess for the NI, the reason why it says NE first is because it has to. I think since they're perceiving first, I feel like it has to go that way for every movement of the eye, because your eye, that type, is focused first on perceiving before judging. Therefore, past visions are first going to be perceived through NE, and they're going to be organized by TE. Perceived by NE and judged by TE. So basically, I guess for an INTJ, let me think. INTJ would basically find new fun things to do in their life. That's basically as simple as I can put it. Because NE is fun. INTJs are usually stuck in a rut of boredom and professional and just move up in the rankings. It's just, my social mission is to be the most powerful person ever. If we put in a little bit of NE into their lives, they'll have fun. Be out of their little misery of, oh shit, when I'm 85, I realized, oh, I never accomplished anything that I ever wanted to accomplish. And really the only thing I ever wanted to accomplish was happiness. But guess what? I got $1 billion. Is that gonna matter anything when I'm dead? No, not really. But hey, at least I got it this far. Okay, bye guys. That's pretty much their life when they're not using NET. They're not looking to the top left.
So, do you think moving to the top left, is you achieve, especially with that first function, you achieve a balance between the dominant function and the control function?
The control function is any.
Yeah. So
Yes.
they get a balance, and
You control it. That's how you control it.
Because you've not got to. Yeah, you've not. Yeah, you've not got to. You've not. Because maybe we could say that if you get too much in your top function, you get overtaken by it, and you need more balance by balancing out with the control function.
And then you control that function looking to the top left.
You know what? Carl Jung talked about that. He talked about the introverted sensation type. Sorry, the introverted thinking type needs to be balanced with practical thinking, and the practical thinking type needs to be balanced with introverted thinking, so that they can see beyond the data to the patterns beneath. And the INTP needs to be rooted with TE, otherwise they will go off into the sky with their TI, and then too much TI. They need to be rooted more in reality. So yes, I can see a balance between the management function, the lead function, the control function. So yes, I can see people trying to work on their control function, but it's going to be difficult for them to find the energy to work on their control function.
Why?
Well, it's because it's difficult.
All you got to do is look to the top left.
Okay, but a lot of people don't have a lot of energy for their control function. But if you do look, if that works, that's great. Look into the top left. That helps people.
That's how you do it. That's the key, folks. Bingo was his name.
So if we can try this out with INFPs, get them to look to the top left and see if they become more
I think
more concerned with other people.
You need to start first with just bottom right. That relaxes you more, I think.
Right.
Does it?
So bottom right is the social adaptation block, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. FISI, yeah. Okay.
Your Christ consciousness.
Is that because it gets them out of the social mission block?
Yes.
Right, and then you can go diagonally across to the top left to the extinguishment. Yes. Right, okay. So, for an INFP, that would be them going towards TISI, so going towards ISTP, and then them going towards extinguishment, which will probably be FENE of going towards ENFJ. Yeah. Yeah. Square 8 to square 5, ENFJ. Right. So that's social mission, yeah. Past visions. Past visions. So what does past vision of if the NET look like in the INTJ?
Oh my god. Honestly, I think that they would like, let's say that this person actually connected to their Sirius angel and was doing what I was doing. An ETE person would actually get a vision that's actually playing out like a movie in their head.
So how is it a past vision? Is it something from their own personal past?
The collective unconscious.
Okay. And how would that vision from the collective unconscious be? What would be the ENTP aspect of that?
Let me think. INTJ. I see an INTJ seeing a movie and then figuring out exactly what they have to do to make that, like to get their desired outcome of that film that they see in their head. That's what NE would do if they were looking to the if an INTJ was looking to the top left, they'd be using NE. That's how NE would do it. But that's not how I get it.
Brandon, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Left-handed.
You
But
see,
I play sports. I play sports. I use my right hand when I play sports. So I don't know. I really don't.
Right. Okay. Let's check something out. How does SEFE? How is that a bad thing for the INTJ?
Let's see. Well, from my experience, I created this graph of the INTJ for my friend. Her name was no, her name is Meg. We're still friends. She believes everything I tell her about all of this. And then she looked at it and she's like, "Oh my God, my brother is an ES. Oh no, wait, SEFE. That's an ESFP, right?
Yeah.
She does not, from what I'm aware of, know about any ESFPs in her life.
Right.
She did, however, say that SEFE was her ESTP brother. And her ESTP brother is a heroin addict, and we see a demon around him all the time. And I was like, oh, here it is. But I did at the same time. I didn't use your method. I used the way she interpreted it was her way. You interpreted it your way. I don't know which one's correct. I think they might be both correct. It's kind of the whole point of why I'm doing the whole universalism, combining all religions, truths and everything. Truth is subjective to the perceiver, that whole thing. It's like, I don't know. The fact that I incorporated Model G into this, it was for a reason. I perceived it that way for a reason. Wait, are we still on air?
Yeah, we're still on there. Yeah, I was just looking at your eyes as you're answering those questions. I was looking at when you were recording information, you looked to the your top left.
Yes, I did.
Now, did you do that before, or are you forcing yourself to look to the top left?
I've been doing this whole call.
Yeah, but what about 6 months ago?
Never.
When you record information in the past, would you look to your top right?
I had zero awareness of my eyes.
Right. Okay. See, I'm trying to. I was trying to establish what your eye access and cues, because you are left-handed, what they were like before. So yeah. So how is ESFP bad for INTJ?
The only thing I could possibly think of is let's say Meg is to meet an ESFP in the future who she gets into a relationship with, that'll be like possible sign or whatever. Like it's not. I think we already eliminated her. Here's the thing: we got rid of her demon without even making this graph thing. And now the only way she was able to analyze the graph herself was by her understanding of SCFE being ESTP. Because she didn't know about Model G, and she connected it to her brother who's an ESTP. But since you know about Model G, you connected it to the ESFJ the way I intended it for you.
Now,
So basically, kind of just, it's kind of subjective.
right. Now, what happened there with your eyes is when you were imagining what she would say, you looked up to your top right. And then when you were recalling what she said, you looked up to your top left.
Yeah. I want to recall, so I go to my past visions.
So that actually fits the classical version of eye accessing cues.
Yes.
That when someone is imagining something, they look to their top right. And when they are recalling something, they look to their top left.
Yeah, basically.
And I'll ask Victor as well as, do the eyes of EP types dart around more?
Mine do a lot. Well, they used
'Cause
to
he-
until I figured it out.
Because
That's why I told you. What?
he uses eye accessing cues to work out someone's Jungian temperaments.
You should show him this video.
Yeah. Right. So.
Wait, are you still gonna post this? Because I know.
Oh yes, definitely.
Personal life involved.
Yeah, I don't care. You can post this.
Oh, you don't? I want to. I want to post. I actually want you to post it.
No, I want you to post it. I want you to do the
okay,
donkey work.
Okay, so we're still doing that. We're still doing that. Awesome. Yay!
Yeah, you can post this all over Facebook.
And you would not mind. You actually appreciate it?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'll do
it. Right. So we got top right. We got future visions for this. So this is the INTJ that's stuck in their social mission. Right. Okay. Right. So SIFI. This is where you've got social adaptation for the INTJ. So this is their growth, their Christ consciousness. What does that look like for the INTJ?
The INTJ looks like, well, for them, science fiction, sci-fi. Haha, get it. But for them, it's like, okay, obviously they'd be more in tune and aware of their body, and also more in tune and aware of what they really feel about something, whether something's really good or bad. So if an INTJ wants to meditate on their body to figure out what it is that they truly think is right or wrong to do in the situation, look to the bottom right. That is also a place to heal depression.
Right. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the.
I'm actually gonna fall asleep tonight looking to my bottom right, like
okay.
Christ visions.
Right. So we got here. We got so people can be watching Brandon right now. So this is a good video for teaching people eye accessing cues, because we're sort of like really deep. So yeah, you were looking to, again, the bottom right. We've got that internal dialogue. Oh no, sorry, that's bottom left. Your own left would be when somebody is actually going to the wrong side, in your opinion. The bad duel, the bad version of the duel.
Yes, bad is bottom left, and then good is.
This is the opposite way around from the way you've done it, because you've done it from the.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Ben, wait, keep this page. You know what's funny? You know how it says to the bottom right for feelings and bodily sensations?
Yeah.
For you, it's FISI.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. What's wrong with that?
It's proven right there. FISI. feelings, bodily sensations.
What about other types, though?
Well, let me think. For me, it's SCTE and
Yes.
feelings and bodily sensations. I don't know. I think talking to Jesus calms my feelings and bodily sensations. He always tells me to breathe. Look, he's telling me to like put my hand to my stomach and breathe up and down. So he's giving me advice to calm my body
Right,
down.
okay. Right, now, what you're talking about moving to ESFJ and then moving to the other one. If you look at the strength of my functions, SI and FI are quite strong. So FI, SI, ISFP. So the bottom one being FI.
Let me see.
And
It says SC and FE are your weakest.
Yeah.
Interesting because
Well,
considering
NI is my weakest.
if you're with an FE/SE person, they should be stronger. They're your two weakest along with NI.
Well, the way Dario defined NI was like too much mystical stuff. So I wasn't clicking high on those boxes. I was answering honestly the way he defined NI, and to me it was too mystical.
Okay.
And SI, he has a stabilizing with a predictable standard, so like using techniques, algorithmic logic.
You know what this tells me? Then this tells me that you were basically stopped looking straight up in a way.
I've stopped looking straight up.
You are?
No, well, one of the reasons why I might stop looking straight up is that then goes above my glasses where it's not clear.
Yeah. Do you ever do that?
What, look up?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll have to look at some videos.
When you fall asleep, what do you look?
I don't know. I just close my eyes.
Okay.
Because my eyes feel heavy.
Right. Oh, okay. Find out if you roll your eyes to the back of your head. If you do, you might have a void in your life. If you don't,
Okay. So FI is quite high. NI, the way they define it, is where he defines it's quite low. I want to get the TE up, so you would have that as part of the control function.
wait.
So how does this? How does this?
You have NI as 13.3. When I look from my top left, I'm talking straight from NIFI. So I think the fact that since you don't really use NI much, that's part of the reason why you might not trust what I'm saying.
Right. So we go back to your model. Right. So INTJ being stuck in their social mission, does that mean they end up like Rona Plant?
When they get stuck in their social mission, they will usually just be trapped in doing what other people want them to do.
Right. Now, when you were recalling that information there, you looked to your top left.
Yeah, because I really want to talk to it. So.
Right. So now, if you're trying to judge the mental health of an INTJ, will they be looking to their top right?
Possibly. Usually a lot more.
Right. So the way, and again to remind people, the way you've done this is the opposite way from the way it is in the book. In terms of this is the person themselves looking out into the world. So you've got left on the left and right on the right. This is not from the point of view of looking at somebody else's face. It will be switched around.
This is your eye.
So Yeah, so you could put that on the diagram as well. Your left, your right.
Yeah.
As you look out.
What I said was this is the INTJ diagram. So for an
Yeah.
INTJ, I sent this to INTJs that I know, and I'm like, here you go, guys. And they're like, what is this?
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So when it's when you look up to the top left, when you look up to the top right, not when other people do it. When you do it, when you do this, right? So I'm switching it around for other people. So based on an INTJ's eye accessing cues that you are interacting with, can you determine something about their mental health?
Yes.
Ooh. So what people can do, listeners, is you can go and watch the Rona Plant videos and see what he does with his eyes. When he's talking about the quadras and being rude, saying things like Victor Galenko is completely effing stupid.
About.
Yes, the human beard.
WSS?
Yes, him. Did you see the comment that I left on his on his video where he insulted Victor?
Ah,
Oh, you've just thought of him. It's made you cringe. In fact, I can show
let me not.
a video.
Let me not.
Oh, you don't want to think about him. Okay. Right, so what we got here? I am going to show Roan LaPlante. Now, and I'm going to say something about his own. Wait, I'll pick a minute. Override. Right. Is that? Did it transfer? Yes. Right, here we go. Roan LaPlante. Now, Roan LaPlante is an INTJ, and there he is. There is Roan LaPlante. Not happy to be having his photograph taken. So, and this is him in a hangout. So INTJs apparently don't value SI. Looks like he values SI there. He looks pretty comfortable. He's got a nice comfy sofa. He's got a blanket. He's nice and relaxed with his hand on his mouse. Looks pretty comfortable there. But he's not supposed to value SI. I think he's valuing SI there. Is Roan LaPlante. Right. So we'll go back to your diagram. Very rude about Victor. Right, so what do we have here? Right, so if you think somebody is an extreme INTJ, they're going to be looking to their top right a lot.
Yeah, usually if they're, well, to put it kindly, a fucking asshole, they're going to their top right and their top left.
Right. Did you say more to their top right than the top left?
Yes.
Right, okay. How about the Christ consciousness thing of them moving towards ISFJ, which is their social adaptation block?
Oh, well, as an ISFJ, what I mean by the Christ consciousness block is basically when you start to meditate on the bottom right and you start to talk to yourself while looking at that position, you will be talking to pretty much an ISFJ version of yourself who wants to take care of you. That's basically all that's happening. It's like you are the function that you are your type, I guess, but you access different modes of consciousness based on the movement of your eyes. Your cognition changes. So by looking to the bottom right, you talk to this ISFJ Ben. By looking to the top right, you talk to an INTJ. No, you talk to INTP Ben, and then when you look to the top left, you talk to an ENTJ Ben, and then when you talk to the bottom left, you talk to an ESFJ Ben. your type basically gets to change by your eyes. You are now the actor of the eyes.
Right. So, how about So I can see an INTJ developing some ISFJ qualities as a good thing.
Yes.
That is a good thing
Yeah.
for the INTJ to become more caring and considerate of other people.
I agree.
And everyone, it's better to become like an ISFJ. Right. Right, because I like SJs. Now, what do we have here? Especially SFJs. Now then, I think have we. Right, I don't think you satisfactorily. I want a little bit more on how they go dodgy when they go towards ESFP. Is it like an Enneagram 5 disintegrating into 7?
I'm sorry, Ben, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you know an INTJ?
No.
Oh, okay. INTJ with an yes, he. Are you sure you don't know an INTJ?
Well, I know Alf. Blessing Alfred Tanash Sangha.
Is there one you don't like?
Rowan. Oh dear, I shouldn't have said that. He's been rude to people who I'm friends with.
Are they an ESFP?
People I don't like.
No.
There's people in the past who have been ESFP who have been a-holes.
No. I'm asking you: is the INTJ you don't like with an ESFP?
Married to it? No.
Do you know any ESFPs who are married to an INTJ?
No. What I'll say about Rona Plant is it's not that I dislike him. It is that I don't like his. He criticizes Victor Galenko and Dario Nardi and never. I mean, especially with Victor Galenko, he never says why. He just says something like Victor Galenko is completely
It's funny because you know what that means?
That's why.
No, in my opinion, using TE is asking why. No. And then what basically he's doing is he's using only his NITI, which when honestly when an INTJ is stuck using NITI, let me think about what that is. Sanity.
Yeah, if they're stuck in their top two functions.
Sanity.
Right. So,
Sanity.
so if someone's an extreme INTJ,
If someone's an extreme NITI,
yeah. Now, I would say that a more balanced INTJ that is more like their dual, closer to their dual, and has developed more of their dual-like qualities, is better than someone who is an extreme version. But I do understand what you're saying, that it is easier to move to the social adaptation block first before someone tries to self-dualize. And actually, self-dualization is something that would be, and as Carl Jung talked about, integration is a lifelong process.
you're a narcissistic supply.
Pardon?
Narcissistic supply.
What, towards someone's own dual?
Possibly a life partner, but not yours.
Okay.
versus making you narcissistic supply.
I'm giving them narcissistic supply, or they're giving me narcissistic supply.
What?
Well, who's giving the narcissistic supply?
Not you. You are the narcissistic supply.
And so the other person is the narcissist.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. Right. Now let's see what now. So, have we actually covered everything that you have sent me in text in terms of all the long messages?
Am I saying everything that I've thought of? or
Yeah.
whatever?
Maybe if you go through the messages that you sent me, 'cause then we can make sure that you've said everything.
I mean, let me see. Well, have you read the essay I wrote?
No.
I guess you can read that later, but that's just kind of, it gives you an idea of what it is that me looking to my top left has allowed me to.
Right. Okay.
It's my
Well,
new.
You see, if you went through that now, that would help the viewers.
Can I read it out loud? It's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
long.
definitely. It's fine. It would be great.
Okay, guys. Reincarnation exists. It exists in the form of archetypes. Archetypes are members of the collective unconscious. This is the realm where all people derive similar symbolism. This symbolism is expanded upon to make sense of reality. Reality exists in parallel with the unconscious. The unconscious is like the opposite of reality. Reality produces the object to the psyche, and the psyche produces a subject to reality. Therefore, reality is both an aspect of the objective and subjective consciousness. Consciousness is the form by which a soul perceives. Perception is granted to the soul depending on the direction of focus. Your eyes, basically. Focus can be turned internally or externally, or mixed between the two in either incomprehensible or linear fashion. To mix into linear fashion paints the symbolism of the unconscious into the objective mind, and to mix into linear fashion is what I've done with my eye movement theory. Your mind, it consists of infinite aspects. Where it derives, these aspects are of two opposite worlds. These worlds are named reality and imagination. The imagination is considered an unimportant aspect, thereby confining the mind to reality, stripping it of its opposite pole, trapping it in some strange purgatorial existence we all seem to enjoy being trapped in without due care as to whether your emotions, addictions, and neuroses could ever have the pre-existing cause of your imagination. So the imagination is stunted, halted, questioned, psychiatrically medicated, psychotherapeutically treated, given nicknames, this disorder, that disorder, or massive confusing labels, trying to explain the mind using only the empirical reality surrounding it, such as environment and neural wiring. And until the imagination is treated with as much importance and given the credence of your surroundings, you're basically stuck wondering why you have neuroses and why emotions arise when no apparent need for them exists. When you input the aspect of imagination back into the polar law of imagination plus reality equals world, things make more sense. Reality equals world is like human equals body. Imagination plus reality equals world is what brings the mind into the equation. So mind plus body is equal to human. Only when you truly understand the imagination can you understand the mind. And only when you understand the mind can you begin to assess the third function of the mind, body, spirit trinity. This trinity does not exist in the empirical reality. In fact, empiricism will only tell you of a body. It frankly ignores the layers of the mind, which dangerously ignores the importance of spirituality to true meaning of the world. The world in its whole, mind, body, spirit, is formed by the collective unconscious. All elements of the world are stored in this aspect. The interpretation of the imagination plus body is what allows for the understanding of the spiritual function of the Trinity. Going back to reincarnation, I'm not sure if it's as simple as you die and reborn. It may or may not be this way. Hold on a second, Ben. I have to.
Yeah, I heard the knock. That's fine. Wow. Wow.
I'll be right back, Ben.
And F's right. Well, what I could do is read it out because I'm looking at the same thing. Spiritual function of the Holy Trinity. I'll just read that bit out again because I don't know for sure if we. I see if I'm there. The world in its whole, mind, body, spirit, is formed by the collective unconsciousness. All elements of the world are stored in this aspect. The interpretation of the imagination and body is what allows for understanding of the spiritual function of the Trinity, going back to reincarnation. I'm not sure if it's as simple as you die and reborn. It may or may not be this way. However, you as a whole are formed by a definite archetype of the collective unconscious.
Hello. I didn't finish reading it, but I can.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. If you go back to that paragraph, going back to reincarnation.
Okay, it may or may not be this way. However, you as a whole are formed by a definite archetype of the collective unconscious, and this archetype is the same essence in multiple incarnations of people at one time. Your soul is a specific archetype, nothing any philosopher or scientist can put into a typological formula. The formula can't exist unless all archetypes are discovered. But with so many people and so little ability to access every person for the identifiable trait that resembles the soul of another person, it becomes impossible to even dream of such a formula ever coming into existence. With that said, one can easily use their imagination to discern their past life by looking to the top left and requesting guidance from their own imagination. Yes, you will be requesting guidance from yourself. This is where things get spiritual and people get scared. But from that fear, once you actually let the pictures roll in your mind's eye and find patterns, it's not too difficult to see aspects of the lives your soul archetype may have experienced outside of this body.
Right. Now, what about any of the other bits? Would you like to read any of the other bits? Any other key bits? What about this bit here? Oh yeah, I think I did a grab of that bit of information there. What about before you sent me the essay? Any bits you want to read out from there?
Before I sent you the essay, I was just telling you about how I found this super powerful eye movement awareness. Oh, okay. I spiritually awoken. So I combined the mind, Glenko model, body, eye movement, and spirituality to create the most breathtaking discovery of possibly mankind. Can I send you an essay where I explain that spirituality aspect so that I can explain how spirituality ties into this part? It's quite important to the point I am trying to make.
Yep. Okay. Right. Oh, that should have been. Yeah, somebody asked to join Model G, and then suddenly the request disappeared. Right. I don't think anybody else added them. Right. So, is there anything else you want to say?
Looking forward to seeing the video.
Right then. So, and I look forward to you distributing it.
I am going to do that. You shall see.
Excellent. So, bye-bye, folks. You have heard a lot of NE. You have heard a lot of NF, NE, and a lot of INTP, that is trying to make sense of all of this. Okay, bye for now. Your minds have probably been blown.